The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets were embarrassed in prime time. They are 0-4. Their head coach said they're not the same old Jets. He's right. They're worse. Joke. Absolute joke. I mean, what is there to say, right? What is there to say? If we don't laugh, we're going to cry. This franchise continues to sink to new lows. Just when you think there's no way it could be any worse, they say, wait, hold my beer. Tonight, the New York Jets lose 27-21. Let's be real. This game was the very definition of same old Jets. Let's start with the penalties. 13 penalties for the Jets tonight for 101 yards, 3 turnovers. 13 penalties, 3 turnovers. You start there. You don't have a chance. The only reason why the Jets were actually, I guess, technically within a score at the end, had the onside kick, was because the Dolphins stink. And we knew they stink. Their fans were flying planes over their stadium before tonight's game, asking their owner, Stephen Ross, to fire the coach, the GM, and replace their quarterback. That's who the Jets just lost to. They're every bit as bad as any team in the league right now. Don't tell me that you're not the same old Jets, Aaron Glenn, and then follow it up with a vintage same old Jets performance. We are only 4 games in, and this team is poorly coached. They are as bad as any coach team we saw under Robert Saleh or Jeff Ulbrich or Adam Gase. Speaking of Adam Gase, congrats to Aaron Glenn. He joins Adam Gase and Lou Holtz as the only coaches in Jets franchise history to start 0-4 in their first 4 games as the Jet coach. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, people. Wake up. This team stinks. Stinks. This head coach said that they're here to win now and going forward. And then he's celebrating moral victories because they showed fight against the Bucs last week when they needed a miracle to even have a chance to be in that game. They didn't show fight. Tampa stopped blitzing. Todd Bowles gave you the Todd Bowles special, and you lost. And you were 0-3. And the thought process was, if you're going to say you're not the same old Jets, then show us something. And as bad as the Jets played in the first half tonight, this game was right there for them to start the second half. Nick Folk hits a miracle kick from 58 yards. You're somehow only down at halftime 7 points. It's 10-3. And then you proceed to go out there, and on the opening kickoff, Isaiah Williams, who stinks and shouldn't be on this team, is fumbling the football. How does that make any sense? Who is scouting other returners around the league? They had all summer to fix the return issue. We knew Xavier Gipson stunk. Oh, Glenn, he's holding people accountable. He cut Xavier Gipson, the 52nd, 53rd player on the roster. Oh, so tough to do that. Michael Clemens is still on this team. Is he going to cut Steve Wilkes, who he hired? Oh, the great Jet defense. Way to force a turnover tonight. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But Isaiah Williams, this guy should not be on the team. He should not be allowed on the flight back tonight. All right? First things first, the fact that Glenn let him go back out there after he fumbles the kickoff and he fair catches a punt at the 2-yard line. I mean, are you nuts? I'm nuts. We still watch this team. We're all nuts. But we're not the same old Jets. Enough, man. Win football games. This franchise is incapable of doing that. The only thing they are capable of doing is picking in the top 5 of the NFL draft, because that is where this season is clearly going. Who are they beating? They're going to beat the Cowboys in that offense next week? They're going to beat Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, a well-coached team with Sean Payton in London? No. There's 0-6. Their only chance of a win might be that Panther game that the Asmaniacs and myself will be at on October 19th. I mean, this is bad, folks. This is a bad, real bad football team. If they had any pulse, they had any real fight, they would have shown up tonight and they would have won this game. And they couldn't do it. The Dolphins were handing you this game. Tyreek Hill was killing them, and he unfortunately suffers a traumatic injury and was done. And you couldn't even take advantage. Awful. And we go right back to the beginning of this game. Braylon Allen, come on, man. Come on. And if you want to say, okay, it happens, then explain the other two fumbles. He had another one on the kickoff. The Isaiah Williams play was a disaster. The Isaiah Williams fair catch at the 2 was so costly. The way the Jets coach the play calling, they have no faith in Fields to drop back and throw. They're running it on 3rd and 6 and getting stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. I know Fields made the incredible run, but that's all he's good for. He does all these spectacular things. You know what happens? His team never wins. The only time he won anything was when he was with Mike Tomlin, who's a Hall of Fame coach. So they were able to go 4-2 because they had great coaching around him. The same Mike Tomlin is now 3-1 with Aaron Rodgers, who this fan base, many of you couldn't wait to run out of town. Couldn't wait to run out of town. Coaching matters, man. And this team is just as bad at all levels of their coaching as they were under Robert Saleh and then Jeff Ulbrich. They are not improved. They are not better. Aaron Glenn is no different than anyone that he is now taken over for. And I'm not sitting here saying fire the guy, but 4 games in, he better show us something the rest of the way. This team can't just go out there and win 2 games and it's all okay because they're going to get the top 2 pick in the draft. So who? They can take another quarterback that will suck because we're going to put them in a spot where they're not going to have any chance of success, just like Sam Darnold, right? I mean, I'm just amazed Zach Wilson didn't get in this game somehow. That was probably the only thing tonight that was missing from this debacle. Unbelievable. And yes, there were some horrendous calls by the officiating tonight. Ridiculous. They called offensive pass interference on that touchdown by Garrett Wilson. All right, there were some terrible calls. They missed a clear hands to the helmet against Joe Tippmann on a play where they ended up calling holding on the Jets. The officiating was trash tonight. I'm not going to listen to the Jets losing this game because of the refs. They lost this game because they beat themselves. What bad football teams do, you beat yourself. 13 penalties for 101 yards and 3 turnovers. That's how you lose to a team that was reeling coming into the game. That's how you lose. You had a chance to smash them in the mouth early. And Braylon Allen fumbles. And then no one picks them up. Defense, do you force the turnover tonight? No. But you lose the turnover battle, -3. They've lost the turnover battle all 4 games. That's why they're 0-4. And I hope Braylon Allen is okay because I know he left the game with that knee injury in the second quarter. But man, was that costly because this team just is incapable of overcoming any adversity. Don't listen to the head coach. And I haven't heard what he said yet. We'll go live to him at some point here. I'll play his presser. But if the head coach tries to sell you on moral victory or they showed fight, enough. Let's not pretend like the Jets last year with Robert Saleh were getting blown out every week. They were not. They had the lead in the fourth quarter so many times that they set a franchise record for most blown fourth quarter leads with 7. That team stunk last year, coaching-wise. And the 2024 Jets would wipe the floor with the 2025 Jets. That's how pathetic this team has been through 4 games. Do not tell me, oh, Jake, the combined record of their first 3 opponents was 9-3. Okay, cool. Then beat the Dolphins. Oh, you didn't? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And to all the fans out there who tweeted me and commented mean things that I'm too negative. Really? I'm too negative? For wanting to see this team not start 0-4 for the first time since 2020? You know, when they went 2-14 that year and still couldn't get the number 1 pick? They don't deserve our loyalty until the Jets give you a mother effing reason to think they're not the same old Jets. They are. They are. I don't want to hear it. They are. This is same old Jets to a T. 13 penalties, 3 turnovers, losing in primetime to a division rival that wanted to hand you the game. Hand you it. They're flying banners before this game tonight, asking for their coach and GM to be fired, for Tua to be replaced. And you couldn't even beat them. And you know who I feel the most for besides, obviously, the best fan base in sports, which is obviously the Jet fan base? I feel for Garrett Wilson, man. I mean, that guy just plays his ass off. And he has nothing to show for it. Yeah, he has some good stats. Great. Do you think Garrett cares about that? He wants to win, man. You see it on his face. And you feel terrible for him. Terrible. And let me say this, too, to the owner. And we're only 4 games in, and I pray that Aaron Glenn can figure it out. That he's the next Dan Campbell, who was, Jake, he was 3-13-1 in his first year. Yeah, with way less talent than this team. But okay. At what point does Woody Johnson realize hiring first-time coaches from a defensive background, that maybe we should do something different? That doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. And I am rooting for Aaron Glenn to turn it around. But I got to call a spade a spade. We are 4 games in, and this team is every bit as bad as any team that we saw with Saleh, Ulbrich, Gase, Bowles. They are just as bad, if not worse. That first half tonight, I mean, they're so lucky they were only down 7 because they're playing another team that also stinks. Miami wasn't better than the Jets tonight. The Jets said, here, you take the game. And that's the NFL. And the Jets never, ever win games when they don't seemingly get gifts from the other team. And even when they sometimes do, like last week, Tampa missing all their linemen. Mike Evans goes down in the 4th quarter. You get this unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime play from Will McDonald. You still can't make a play and win the game. Tonight, make a play, win the game. Can't do it. Penalty after penalty. I mean, it is disgraceful. It really is. It never ends. Ever. There's so many things in this game tonight that remind you of so many games that you and I have all watched rooting for this team. I mean, they are so awful. They make Darren Waller look like prime Travis Kelce tonight. Kiko Malagoa, the personal foul extending a drive. I'm just going through my notes. Sauce, the DPI, giving another free first down on a drive that eventually got capped off by the A-Chain touchdown to make it 24-10 in the 3rd. 3rd and 6 at midfield on the next drive. You're down 2 scores. Brees is not in the game. You're handing off to Isaiah Davis, and then you're punting. You're just giving up with your defense struggling. Giving up. 7 minutes to go, and you're punting in that spot. Why? They had 9 penalties for 71 yards entering the final quarter tonight. It never ends. How many times have we seen a version of this game? You know, Justin Fields' numbers don't look bad. Did anyone think he played that well tonight? He was okay. The penalties killed them. Some of that's on him. The Jets were slow. He was so slow, the operation-wise. It wasn't crisp. It wasn't clean. I thought Fields' legs would give them an opportunity to make plays tonight, and at times it did, but they just shot themselves too many times. It's just, this fan base deserves, and I say this every goddamn week, every year. It's my 5th year doing this. 5th year, live after every one of these games. Full-time on YouTube since August of 23. And I don't know if it's ever been worse than it is right now because there's no hope right now. There's no young quarterback that we could point to, that we could go through the growing pains with. Even in 2021, at least Saleh was in his first year. Zach Wilson was in his first year. Turns out they both were bad at their respective jobs. But at least it was like, we're seeing a rebuild. We're seeing development. Like, the quarterback of the future is not on this team. I'm sorry. It's not Justin Fields. It's not. If you look at his numbers tonight and you tell me he played great, you didn't watch the same game. You didn't. And I'm not trying to put it all on him. We kind of know what he is, but I thought the team was going to be well coached, right? Oh, Jake, look at the Steelers. They haven't had a quarterback and they win every year. Yeah, because they have Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing year. And the Jets will never come close to sniffing 500 the rest of the year. Remember we talked about all the winnable games coming up for the Jets. I got news for all the people out there talking about these winnable games coming up on the schedule. The Jets are the winnable game for all those teams. The Jets are the get-right game for all those teams. Dallas next week's like, our defense sucks. Yes, we're going to look good next week. We're playing the Jets. Denver and London, they cannot wait. Cannot wait. That defense cannot wait to blitz the Jets, who have no answer for any blitz pickups at all, which is also on the quarterback, by the way. That Carolina game might be our only chance of getting a win, or maybe Cincinnati, but I don't know. No, nothing's a guarantee right now. When's this first win coming? We're in for a long year, people. And before everyone tunes out and doesn't watch daily content anymore, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you. Because this might be the last time I hear from any of you until the draft. All right? Because I don't know. If you're going to leave, if you're done watching, I get it. This franchise doesn't deserve you as a fan. But please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel before you go. I have bills to pay. That's the bottom line. It's a joke, man. 0-4. And you know what's funny? The expectations for this year were so low to begin with. They were low to begin with. People were saying, 7 wins, and they were like, okay with that. And I said, well, why? Well, they're going to be well coached. Well, if they only win 7 games, how do I know they're well coached? Well, no penalties, not going to beat themselves, won't turn it over, will play well against division opponents. They're now 0-2 against the AFC East. Jets' record since 2020 against their own division is the worst in the NFL. Aaron Glenn's off to an 0-2 start. Like, nothing is different. And I'm not trying to just pile on Glenn, but he kind of has done it to himself with his brash talk. We're here to win now and going forward. We're not the same old Jets. You are. You are. You're worse. You're worse because the expectations were even low and you still couldn't clear that bar. If this team wins 3 games or less, what's the justification for keeping this coach around for another year? Why can't Aaron Glenn be Gerard Mayo? Franchise legend in New England. He got axed because Mike Vrabel became available. Hypothetically speaking, Ravens have this awful year. They finally move on from Harbaugh. You wouldn't dump Aaron Glenn for a proven commodity, a coach in a second? Of course you would. Be honest. So this team better show us something and win some games. Because the idea that, it's a slow rebuild, it takes time. F that, man. F that. The Colts are 3-1 right now with Daniel Jones. Coaching. It matters. They don't have any on this Jets team. They don't. And if you're going to blame it all on Steve Wilks, and I'm already seeing some of the comments, who hired Wilks? And I got to own that because I didn't think it would be this bad. I thought Wilks being a former head coach would be helpful, and I had no idea the defense would be this terrible. No idea. They won 4 games with Robert Saleh in year 1. That roster sucked. That roster was expansion level. Quarterback play was terrible. The skill players were even worse than this team's skill players. There was no Brees or Garrett on that team in 21. Their best weapon was Corey Davis, who got hurt and missed a lot of time. If this team can't win at least 4 games, I mean, what are we talking about here? In a 17-game season, mind you. It's a disgrace, folks. I mean, I wish I had something to grab onto. I wish I had something I could point to say, we just got to get through this because there's better days ahead. Is there? It's only been, forget the playoff drought for a moment. It's only been a decade since they won more than 7 games, right? A winning season was in 2015. That was a 10-win season. Missed the playoffs, by the way. Since then, the best they ever did was 7 wins. And this fan base continues to show up, care, be passionate, support the team. And what do we get for our loyalty? If you're a season ticket holder, you get nothing. You pay all this money, and then what happens? Usually around mid-October, today or this year, we couldn't even get to October. You try and sell your tickets now, guess what? You're getting half of what they should be worth, what you paid for as a season ticket holder. What's the incentive? You want to go to a game, just buy tickets on the secondary market. It'll be cheaper than being a season ticket holder. You don't get this great season ticket package as a thank you like other teams around the league get. You don't get anything. I don't think they give you a yearbook anymore, I was told. So you get nothing for being a season ticket holder. Oh, but Jake, if the Jets make the playoffs and host the playoff game, you get first access to face value for the play. Oh, you mean win the division for the first time since 2002 to have a home playoff game. You know, the last time they did that, Herm Edwards, my colleague at ESPN, was the Jet coach. I mean, you get nothing. You get nothing for supporting this team. They can't even show up against a division opponent tonight. That's reeling. Awful. I mean, the Jets outplayed Miami in so many key stats, besides the ones that matter the most. Obviously, points scored, penalties, and turnovers. I mean, total yards, they had 100 more yards than Miami did. Fields had more passing yards than Tua. Jets were more efficient on third down than the Dolphins, 4 of 9 versus 4 of 12. Time of possession was dead even. You have 100 yards and penalties, you don't have a shot. And that is the ultimate sign of a not poorly coached team, a horrendously coached team. And Aaron Glenn better figure it out, because the idea that he's just here no matter what, that, oh, this is going to take time. Now he's moving the goalpost, because that's not what he said when he was hired. That's not what he said at the combine. I played that clip this morning on the show for those who saw it. This team's got talent. We clearly have overrated some of it, but they shouldn't be 0-4. Look at the teams in the league that are 0-4 right now. And you know what? The Jets belong with Tennessee. They belong with New Orleans. And I got news for you. New Orleans is better than the Jets. I watched them put up a fight against Buffalo. The Jets in Aaron Glenn's second ever game, they laid down like the dogs they are. Didn't even show up. New Orleans put up a fight at least. I think it's Jets versus Tennessee for worst team in football right now. And I hate to say this, but, I mean, where's the win coming from this year? They can't beat Miami in this spot. Who are they beating? What's going to magically change? Disgraceful. If you're watching live right now, thank you. I cannot say that enough. We do post the show as a podcast each and every day. I'm live every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. Joe Bedingo, who's in a jolly mood, will join us in his weekly segment at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Find the show on in podcast form. And if you're an Asmaniac and you want to support us away from YouTube and get into our Discord and get your name added into the intro for the month of October, you can head over to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. I see a bunch of super chats. I promise I will get to all of them. Before I hear from Aaron Glenn, we'll take you live to his presser and listen in. Reminder, this is the final show to qualify for our raffle tomorrow. Hopefully we'll make someone's day better tomorrow by giving away a signed Sack Exchange jersey, Art Scott signed jersey, and a CJ Mosley signed jersey. Gift memberships, or send in a $10 super chat or higher to enter our weekly raffle, and we will announce the winners during our show tomorrow. I mentioned Aaron Glenn. He spoke. Let's listen in to the head coach of the 0-4, same old Jets.
All right. On the injury front, I think we had two guys of note. From Michael Carter. Got to see what the situation is with him. Who's the other guy that we had? Braylon. Yeah, we had Braylon. All right, and see what his injury is. Hopefully, there are injuries where those guys can get back quick. But we will find that out. When it comes to the game today, very disappointing. Very disappointing. And there's no way you can win any game with 13 penalties and 3 turnovers. It just can't happen. But what we have to do is go back to work. We have to go back. That's the only way that we can fix them. Really take a look at these penalties, take a look at these turnovers, and make sure we understand that we have to understand before you can win games, you have to learn how not to lose games. And we have to do a better job in that case. And we will. We will. And again, the only way to do that is go back to work.
You know who said they'll do a better job in those areas? Every head coach since Rex Ryan, Aaron Glenn. But keep going. I'll listen.
And that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. Any questions?
Aaron, you spoke. You guys seem, even though it was a loss, you seem to come off of that Buccaneer game pretty high.
Yep.
You've done a lot of things you saw to respond like this. How disappointing?
Very disappointing. Very. And to me, it was more or less the things that we know that you can't do to win games. We allowed that to happen. I thought our guys played with effort. Listen, I thought our guys understood the ramifications of this game. But, man, to go out there and have that many penalties and really pre-snap penalties and be able to turn the ball over, I mean, that was so disappointing in this game. But listen, I'm not losing hope in our guys at all, and I'm telling you now, we just got to go back to work. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
And how impactful was the Brandon Allen fumble after what would have been,
Every turnover was impactful. Obviously, that was one that's going to be magnified because it was right there, I think, at the 6th, something like that. Thought he was about to go in and score. But every turnover is impactful. I'm not about to just put it on that turnover. You cannot win this league when that happens. And I can continue saying that, over and over. But to have 3 of them and to have that many penalties is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. So is being a Jet fan, Aaron Glenn, which you should know.
why do the penalties keep happening when it's been a point of emphasis from
Yeah.
getting back to OTAs?
You know what? We got to figure that out. We got to figure it out, and that's the part I'm saying that's disappointing because man, we go through certain times where we do a hell of a job, especially with the pre-snap penalties, and then man, we just revert back, you know. And listen, I know that you can't fix things in a couple of weeks and things like that, but we have to be better than that, and I know we can be better than that.
How do you think Justin played at his return tonight?
I need to look at the tape. You know, I thought he did some really good things. I mean, obviously he was running around out there and made some plays with his feet, and I thought he towards the end of that game, man, he was dealing the ball pretty well. But I really want to look at the tape and look at the decisions and things like that to see exactly how he operated. But to me, just from the naked eye, it looked pretty good.
Where's the message to Isaiah Lyons that he had the fumble and fair catch?
You know, just understand exactly where he's at. And listen, you're right there at the 10. You know you can't back up. And when you start to back up, you know that, you know, the ball is going to be at that 10-yard rule that we use in that situation. So those situations, we just got to be smarter. We have to be smarter. We can't allow that to put us in a situation where we got our offense backed up because now it's a field position game, and we can't allow that to happen to us.
Obviously, teams are going to devote more coverage to Garrett
Yeah.
because of who he is. But he really was a non-factor for about 3.5 quarters. Aren't there ways to get him the ball, to scheme him, ways to try to get him more touches?
Well, if you take a look at how the game was going, we were running the ball really, really well. So the thing is, we don't want to force the ball in those situations. We felt like we had an advantage when we was running the ball, and I think you guys saw that early in the game. You know, so why go away from what's working to try to force the ball to somebody? I think that's ridiculous to do.
What's ridiculous is going into the year with Josh Reynolds and Alan Lazard as your only legitimate receivers next to Garrett Wilson. But please tell us how well you ran the ball. When you committed a holding penalty every other play and shot yourself in the foot and should have had a touchdown on your opening drive and your running back coughed it up. Ridiculous.
10 in the fourth quarter, Aaron.
Yeah.
About 7-ish minutes left where you guys chose to punt the ball.
Yeah.
Miami ended up getting back in the field goal range. You get about 3.5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
Was there any consideration to going for it there? And if so, why?
You know what? I think it's tough in that situation when you look at how the game is going, the way we're going offensively. I mean, we had some tough outings in those long distances. So, man, I want to give ourselves the best chance to go out there and win. Obviously, defensively, we wasn't doing as good part of stopping them. So, I felt like that was the best option at that time. That was it.
Aaron, you got some guys in that locker room who can do some losing seasons.
Yep.
How do you avoid a "woe is me, here we go again" type of malaise coming over this team?
Well, listen, this is a game where, man, you're being evaluated on a daily basis. And I think those guys know that this is a totally different deal as far as being woe is me. And listen, you could always put yourself in position to win a game. And I thought we almost did it again tonight.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There's hope in that, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
We're just not doing the things we have to do to finish games. I don't think we have those type of guys.
You do have those type of guys. That is all it's been for 15 years. Last year, they had the lead in the fourth quarter 7 times and blew it. At least they could get a lead in the fourth quarter. We can't even do that. Oh, my God. Do not try and laud the fight when you committed 13 penalties for 101 yards and had 3 turnovers. I'll play the end of this bullshit. Enjoy, everyone. Here we go.
I really don't. And I'm going to do everything I can in my power to make sure we don't have that. And I don't think we will. I really don't. So those guys know we got to go back to work. I know we have to go back to work. The coaches know we have to go back to work. And collectively as a group, man, we have to make sure we just block out all the outside noise and do the things we got to do to go win games.
A couple more. You knew when you took this job that it wasn't going to be all smooth sailing.
Absolutely.
Is it more challenging than you thought?
I don't want to say that. I mean, listen, being a head coach of an NFL team is always challenging. I don't care if you're, if you're winning because they're always gunning for you. You're losing because you're trying to get things turned around. But yeah, I do know that. But I would tell you that what makes it so so intriguing for me to be able to try to get us to understand exactly how we got to win games and get this thing turned. And listen, my confidence is not going to wane not one bit. We're not going to waver on the things that we've been talking about, how we got to win games. We just got to do a better job of doing those things. So,
oh, yeah.
Yes, it was going to be tough. I understand that. And we're going to continue to work to get this thing turned.
Last one. On Braylon, he was ruled out very quickly with an injury.
Yeah.
Was there any indication from the doctors that could be
You know what? At that point, man, the doc said, listen, he's going to be out, and I didn't want to hear, and we can't know what the situation is at that point. And I have to make sure I keep myself focused on what's going on in the game. So it looked like it was pretty bad, but I don't want to say that until we get a chance to know. So, hopefully he'll be all right.
Thanks, everyone. The room's open.
All right.
Here's the problem. We're not all right, Aaron Glenn. We're not all right.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
This team is dog shit. Dog shit. Oh, Jake, what did you expect? I was not expecting 0-4. If there's Jet fans in your life, like I'm seeing in my chat and the morons who are tweeting me, what did you expect? You really thought that they were going to start 0-4 when the schedule came out, when some of you couldn't wait to talk so much shit about what the Jets were going to do to Aaron Rodgers week 1. Remember that. Now it's, what did you expect? No. You don't get to move the goalpost now. What did I expect? I didn't expect this team to start 0-4. Adam Gase and Lou Holtz are the only coaches in Jet history to begin their career 0-4. Joke. Absolute joke. The same things that Glenn's talking about emphasizing, every other coach, since the last coach that had any success here, Rex Ryan, they all say the same things. Penalties, we want to be disciplined, we want to be smart, tough, dependable, all gas, no brakes. We're built for this bleep. It's a joke, man. Win games. That's the only thing that matters. Glenn talking about how even tonight they had a chance. I want my guys to know that. Just keep playing to the end. The Jets had chances last year, too. It didn't matter. And by the way, if they had this kicker, they had Nick Folk, which Joe Douglas should have made a move for a year ago, a legitimate kicker. They win way more than the 5 games that they did last year, too. As bad as a coach team as that team was a year ago. Joke. Well, the Jets will never say sorry, but I'll say sorry for having to watch this team, man. I'll also show you this tweet. This made me laugh. Thank you, Buffalo Jet fan. Jake Asman's going to execute a listener on his postgame show. I love you, BJF, if you're watching, man. God. I'm going to get to the super chats and your calls. A lot of you are on hold. Be patient. I'll get to everyone. Honestly, I might execute myself. I cannot do this, man. Oh, my God. It's unreal. 0-4. 0-4. The coach last week says they're not the same old Jets. It's mind-boggling how this franchise continues to sink to a new low. The expectations weren't even that high. It was be competent, right? Like the Jets would actually win games if they didn't do exactly what they did tonight. Because there's other teams like Miami on their schedule, right? And what I mean by what they did tonight, it's lose the turnover battle and commit penalties. That's really the main reason why they lost. Like there's other things we could break down, and I mentioned some other stuff too. But ultimately, you look at the box score, the numbers look pretty good. Garrett Wilson had a touchdown, almost 100 yards receiving. Fields making plays with his legs. He only had the passing stats there. Like, numbers look good. If I would have told you before the game tonight, hey, Justin Fields would go 20 of 27, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And then on the ground, Justin Fields would rush for an additional 81 yards. So he would essentially have 300 yards of offense by himself. If I told you that was his stat line, if I gave you Garrett Wilson's numbers, hell, if I gave you Breece Hall's numbers, you would have told me the Jets probably won by at least 10. But the things that cost you games and the things that point to you being a poorly coached team are the penalties and the turnovers. And for Glenn to go out there and allow Isaiah Williams to remain in the game after he fumbled on the kickoff and put him back out there on punt team is another example of this coach being hypocritical when he says he's holding guys accountable. He's not. It's easy to cut Xavier Gibson. Michael Clemens is still on this team. He's not held accountable. Brutal. Brutal. I love all you. Thank you for watching. Let me get to your super chats, and we'll get to your calls as well. Brutal. Omari says, looking forward to my Knicks. This team beat themselves. Jake, go off. You have a right, bro. Our Jets are 0-4. Complete joke. Call up Pritchett. Omari, go off, bro. Oh, I went off. I'm just catching up on the super chats here. Look, here's the thing. Like, we could, some of you are going to start rooting for losses. That does nothing if you don't have a coach. I don't think this team is properly coached right now, and it better get better. Because you're not winning anything in this league if you don't have a good coach. Tyrone says, I actually felt bad for Glenn. It says it all in his face. He had a ton of work to do. He took over a team that had a lot of talent. Let's not have this revisionist history. There's talent on this team. All right? Let's not forget what was said about the defensive players on the team, the offensive line that has had so many resources invested into it. Garrett Wilson's a star. Brees is a very good back. Like, Mason Taylor looks like a real player, thank God. Like, you shouldn't be 0-4. Chef Jets fan, I'm starting to believe that the fouls aren't the coach's fault. They're from players that need to be cut. You can't cut the entire team. It is the coach that sets that establishes the culture in that room, right? If guys are committing penalties, maybe they're too tight. Like, are guys already just pressing? Starts with the coach too. Wow, the return of Beanback. Couldn't wait to spend $2. Everybody owes Rodgers an apology. Cash Money Mike. One thing's for sure, we'll watch them. We'll still love them. And most importantly, we'll still support them. Why? Because we're the goddamn Jet fans. That's who we are. We bleed effing green. I said this to someone. I won't say. So I was interviewed for a project that's coming out about the Jets in early 2026. And I said this to them when I did this interview today for it. I said, if the Jets were an actual relationship, we wouldn't be in it. It's the most toxic relationship one can be in. It's an abusive relationship. You wouldn't stick around. Like, if the Jets were a woman, we would have been out of here years ago. It's been 15 years of this. Spencer Green, love you, Jake. Let's bond together and accept. I'll be here every day, man. I'll be here. I'll be live at 10 a.m. tomorrow with Beningo. He just celebrated his 72nd birthday. He's in a jolly mood tonight, I'm sure.
We are mama way.
I'm going nowhere. A lot of you could check out. So before you do, please subscribe to the channel. That helps. Anthony writes in, Jake, this team's a total disgrace. They still have yet to get a turnover. This is the Rich Kotite years. This is what it felt like. It's funny you said that, Anthony. I got a text from my dad in the third quarter. And he basically wrote the same thing to me. He wrote, this is like watching the Rich Kotite years, 9:17 p.m. I mean, this is every bit as bad as Gase. I wasn't around for Kotite. I don't remember it. Too young. But Gase, this is as bad as any of the – pick your worst Adam Gase game, and at times this game felt like that. Or your worst Salah game or Ulbrich game. I don't care if the final score makes it look like it's 27-21. They were playing a bad football team that wanted you to step on their throat. And immediately, you fumbled. Braylon Allen, you kidding me? And just the penalties, man, it doesn't end. Donnie says, Joe B kicking rocks. Oh, I'm sure Joe's thrilled. Bino says, AG ain't the guy, period. He talks like he is, but he is what his coaching says he is. Well, don't tell Aaron Glenn you are what your record says you are, because he likes the fight. Apparently, he was seen like screaming at the team in the locker room, like the reporters heard it behind the wall. Good. But like, I don't care if you scream and yell at guys. If the message is not getting across, it doesn't matter what you do. Salah tried to give everyone milk and cookies. It didn't work. Glenn's trying to be the bad guy now. Like, it's probably not going to work because nothing seems to work. But you know what? Beyond anything else, and we hope Glenn can figure it out and he'll learn and he'll get better, because if he doesn't, I have nothing to point to, right? Once again, this is the issue with hiring first-time head coaches in the biggest media market in the world for an organization that has not made the playoffs since 2010. It's not like other jobs. Not all jobs are created equal. They're not. Being the Jet coach and the Jet quarterback, for that matter, but especially the coach, is not like other jobs around the league. I bet you if Robert Saleh went to Jacksonville for his first job, he could have been successful. It takes a different person to handle all this. And especially now when Glenn is in it right now, right? Like, you had the honeymoon over the summer. You had the Jet fans even after that debacle week 1 loss. Remember the moral victories, Jet fans? Remember that? How's that looking? that wanted to still rally around him, even like going into tonight. It's like, let's just beat the Dolphins, right? That's where I was at. Win tonight. Let's go. We'll talk ourselves into some wins. Now he's in it, right? This could spiral if they don't find a way to get out of it. And I don't know where the wins are coming from. I think we're looking at 0-6. And I hope I'm wrong. I do. I hope they somehow win next week and you know, we get something. But what's changing, man? Last time they were 0-4, they finished with 2 wins. This team is winning between 2 and 4 games right now. You're not going to convince me otherwise, based on what I've seen. They are a poorly coached football team, and they don't have the talent to overcome how bad the coaching is. They don't. They have some talent, but this is not the Chiefs roster or the Bengals or the Bills or some of the other, the other upper echelon teams in the league. They got some good players, but they don't have coaching. They don't. They're poorly coached. Mark says, Sauce is ass, O-line's ass, coaches are ass, we're the New York Jets, we're shit. I can't argue. Canuck Jets writes in, from now on, when I got to take a deuce, I'm telling anyone I got to take a Jets. IG says, fire Aaron Glenn, I've seen enough. He's not getting fired 4 games in, but I promise you, it's only going to get louder if this team, starts 0-10, 1-9. The expectations were low. They weren't that low. You're not getting away with that in this town. You're not. Brendan Ryan, thank you, my man, for the $100 super chat. This is 20 raffle tickets for Brendan tomorrow.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
0-4, we still found new ways to embarrass ourselves. We fumbled at the goal line, turned the ball over 3 times, committed too many penalties, and still had the audacity to nearly make it close late. Fields had a 43-yard scramble, and then we botched the onside. The onside is a prayer at that point. If you're relying on that, the chances are you're done. This game was lost when they came out, despite being down 10-3 at halftime, with a chance to go down and, as bad as they played, tie the game up and punch Miami in the mouth if they put together a scoring drive. If they made it 10-10 in the third quarter, if they took the ball and scored, I think Miami would have wilted. I think they would have felt that pressure. Like, here we go again. And instead, Isaiah Williams, who never should have been on this team in the first place, anyone who watched him from week 2 on knew the guy is not good. He's fumbling the kickoff return. And then Glenn still leaves him out there to fair catch a punt at the 2-yard line. That pissed me off more than the fumble. Jake, he's holding guys accountable. My ass, he's holding guys accountable. That's not accountability. The guy screwed up, remained in the game, and then screwed up again. Eric, thank you for the super chat. Canuck Jet says, thanks for being the best, Jake. Same BS from this team every week. I appreciate all you guys who watch. I really do. The fact that there's 2,000 people watching this live right now to talk about an 0-4 team that has not won more than 7 mother effing games in a decade, has not made the playoffs in now 15 seasons, because I'm canceling the year, but not making the playoffs. 15 seasons and counting. Has not won a division title since 2002. Has not won a Super Bowl since before the moon landing, which is real, Gary. And this many people still give a flying F. Thank you. This fan base is amazing. And one day, I'd like to think we'd be rewarded for that. But I don't know when that day's coming. Carlos says, the Jets head coach sucks because the owner always hires coordinators, never hires true seasoned coaches. You know why? Because he likes to meddle in teams' affairs. Case in point. I mean, you can get it right with a coordinator hire. They just haven't gotten it right in a long time. And I felt like the franchise was at a crossroads in the offseason. If you were going to move on from Aaron Rodgers and you were going to move on from everything that happened the last couple of years, and Woody was going to be back involved leading this search when he didn't have anything to do with the previous regime, right? His brother hired Douglas, who hired Saleh. Woody was involved for the first time with a coach and GM hire since 2015 when he oversaw Bowles and McCagnon. I felt like if you were going to go down that path, and look, I work with Mike Tannenbaum, who was a part of the search, and I said this to him on this show. I will say it to him on Sunday on the radio. I felt they needed someone with previous head coaching experience. And maybe Aaron Glenn will figure it out, but the odds are certainly against him. History's not on his side. Has anything been different so far 4 games in? Anything? Is there one positive that you could tell me as a Jet fan that you think this team is doing better than they did under Robert Saleh? And Saleh is not a good head coach, but he's a hell of a defensive coach. And this defense now sucks. They're not bad, right? They're terrible. Terrible. AZ says hire Brian Flores next year and get him a quarterback. I'll tell you what. I don't know if it's Brian Flores, but Mike Vrabel became available, and the Patriots made what's his name, Mayo, one and done. And once again, I'm not advocating for Aaron Glenn to be fired right now. It's too early. It's 4 games. But I'm just telling you where this conversation is headed if they keep losing. Like, this is not me saying it. This is going to be the fan base. I'm already seeing all the comments. Fire Glenn. This, like, he's not getting fired 4 games in. But if they keep looking like this, what is the justification to keep him? Is he an offensive genius that we need to pair with a young quarterback we're going to take and probably ruin in the top 3 this year? Like, seriously. Glenn is supposed to instill discipline, fundamentals, establish an identity. This team is not going to beat themselves. They're going to be game plan specific, right? That's what I was told. They're going to be good against teams in their own division. No, they're not. They're 0-2. Like, everything that they're supposed to be able to do, but, they just didn't have enough talent, and it will take a little time to get the talent, but they'll have the coaching. 4 games in, they got nothing. Nothing I could point to that's better. I think the special teams is better. I take it back. I think Chris Banjo might be pretty good. Nick Folk's awesome. Never should have left in the first place. We have a good punter. That's all I got for you. That's the only thing that's better from last year. Mr. Gorilla says, time to hand the keys over to Brick Johnson. Brendan says, why do I watch every shitty team make football look easy? Then I watch the one team I care about, and football like it's the hardest sport in the world. It's like agonizing to watch the Jets, even when they have some success on offense. You're like on pins and needles, like watching Fields drop back, just hoping someone can get open if it's not Garrett. Like, literally, I cannot be alone in this, right? Like, when you watch the Jets drop back the pass, like, I'm thinking the worst every time. I'm like, like, you're just like jittery. I'm like Mad Max with less cocaine in me. Like, it's insane. Sorry, Mad Max. I know you said you don't do drugs or any caffeine, but I can't help myself. Doug says, this team blows. It's incredibly frustrating. Not the reason they lost, but the refs were a joke. Yeah, the refs suck tonight. I don't want to give the Jets a pass. They beat themselves. Tyler says, Jake Sellers at the deadline, fire Glenn after 2-15, then draft a quarterback with top 5 pick. Oh, the pain. Who's the coach? If Harbaugh gets fired, I'm hiring him in a second. You know, all the people that said, this is going to be Mike Tomlin's last year with the Steelers. Pittsburgh's probably winning that division now. You watch the Bengals tonight? They suck. Cleveland, they suck. Lamar's banged up, and the Ravens are 1-3 right now. Remember, though, there were Jet fans who said they wouldn't give up a first last year for Mike Tomlin if he was available. Please. Please. I traded an entire draft to have a legit head coach. If Mike Tomlin's coaching the Jets, their record right now is 3-1. Michael says, sorry, Jake. How do I know that, by the way? I used 4-2 with Justin Fields last year, just so you know. Sorry, Jake, this team is not good. Yeah, you don't need to apologize to me, man. I know. Keith, thank you for gifting a membership. Michael, thanks for becoming a channel member. I promise I'm going to get your calls here. I'm trying to get caught up on the super chats here because people paid money, and for that, I am grateful. Tom says, I refuse to call Ahmad Gardner sauce anymore. Maybe if he gets his head out of his ass and starts playing like the highest paid corner, he can earn it back. He's been garbage. I mean, tonight he's getting, mossed by Darren Waller? It's not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough for everyone. I thought Quinnen had a decent game from what I saw. All right, I used to rewatch these games. I don't even want to rewatch this, man. It's already a short week. If it's okay with you guys, I'm not going to do a rewatch. I can't do it. Mickey says, taking Fields over Rodgers, keeping Gibson, Adams, Clemens, signing Brandon Stevens, not drafting a developmental quarterback, not getting a wide receiver 2, overdrafting Arian Smith. Where was Arian Smith tonight, by the way? Barron, worst offseason ever. Yeah, the offseason was trash, folks. All right, and I called it at the time. Got a lot of heat for it. I stand by everything I said. They shopped at the dollar store. They had cap space. They allowed this team to go into the year with no legitimate edge depth behind Jermaine Johnson coming off injury and Will McDonald. So Clemens has to play way too much. They traded up for Tyler Barron in the draft. He can't even get on the field unless there's injuries. Arian Smith has been a non-factor so far, which 4th-round pick, developmental guy, I expect that. You need other playmakers, man. Mason Taylor played well tonight, but you need another receiver. It was a bad offseason, man. They didn't draft any defensive tackles at all. The best moves Muji made was acquiring other veterans for 6th-round picks. Why didn't he sign Jadeveon Clowney for $5 million or less? Or Zadarius Smith? There were guys out there. They had cap space. Why did you spread Aaron Rodgers' cap it over 2 years if this was going to be the spending plan? Take it all this year. Give us even more cap space for next year, and let's move on. But no. Riot writes in, Brandon Stevens and Tony Adams suck. They get destroyed every week, but we continue to start them. Get out of here, please. Accountability, though, baby. That's what Glenn is bringing. I don't mean to just pick on Glenn, but it's just like I'm tired of being fed bullshit. All these coaches say the same thing. And because Aaron Glenn happened to play for the Jets is going to be different? Really? He's still a first-time coach from a defensive background. All right? If Aaron Glenn never played for the Jets, he's Robert Saleh. It's the same type of hire. Different personality, sure, but it's once again a first-time defensive-minded head coach that's learning on the job, and the toughest place to learn on the job, being the Jet coach. They needed someone with experience. They didn't even talk to Pete Carroll or Mike McCarthy or John Gruden. They gave one interview to Brian Flores, who, by the way, had a winning record in his 2 seasons in the AFC East. Oh, but he didn't get along with his assistants. Oh, he was a tough guy. You don't think maybe he's learned? Guy's from Brooklyn. You don't think he could have handled New York? But now, we had to hire another inexperienced coach who I like Aaron Glenn, the person, and he's a phenomenal player, and he was a phenomenal coordinator. He's still doing the job he's never done before. We don't know if he's any good at it. 4 games in, the answer to that is unfortunately absolutely no. He's not. Terrible at it, in fact. Brendan's not the same old Jets. It's worse. Raskins, thank you for the membership. Y2KB and Rodgers, playoffs. Yeah, 100%. And look, you don't need to tell me that Aaron Rodgers could still play. I know he could still play. What the Steelers are doing with Rodgers is what I thought the Jets would be able to do last year. Not ask Aaron Rodgers to be Superman, take care of the ball, play good defense, manage the offense, and you'll win games. You have a good kicker. That's what they've done. Rodgers has made some really good throws, but he hasn't been like MVP Rodgers. How Pittsburgh's winning is how I thought in an ideal world the Jets were going to be able to win the last 2 years. But then Rodgers got hurt because we're cursed. And the rest is history. That entire coaching staff got a mulligan instead of cleaning house. Mike Vrabel's our coach last year, and who knows? Michael says, time to surrender and join the tank. I mean, look, you want to root for losses, you do you, man. I want this team to win games because I don't care what pick they have. If they are this bad where they're picking in the top 2, whoever they pick is going to suck if it's a quarterback. They have no chance. They have no chance. We've seen this too many times, man. There's no Joe Burrow in this draft class that you just plug and play, or Jaden Daniels. There's not. The Jets are going to have to take someone that they put in a good infrastructure to have success. Joe Grow, I'd take Rex right now. Only raw options for Woody to sell. We need new ownership. It's the one constant leading to the same results. Yeah, I mean, we could say Woody should sell, but guess who's not going to sell the team? Woody. Why would you? Woody could fail and make billions. Look what Woody bought the Jets for in 2000 and what they're worth now. The NFL is a league where it's idiot-proof. You could be fucking awful. Excuse my language, right? Woody Johnson is a terrible owner if you just look at his record, right? He's presiding over the longest playoff drought in professional sports. But he probably thinks he's doing a hell of a job. Look at the value of his franchise. That's what's sad. Luppy, thank you for the 5 memberships. You're on the raffle tomorrow. Veterans Fitness writes in, hey, Jake, love you, man. We deserve better. AG needs to make that impact. We have players that want better and deserve better. I think there's players that do want better. I think there's some good players on this team. I feel for a guy like Garrett Wilson, man. I really do. Brendan commenting during the Glenn pressers is a solid presser. Man, a lot of super chats. Thank you, everybody. I promise we're getting to your call soon. Brendan says, first, pour Richie on the round table. Second, tell me how this isn't worse than Gase. Gase had 0 players. Glenn has players who cannot do anything. Tell me why we shouldn't have hired Rex. I understand why those said he can't go back to Rex. I get it, right? You can't tell me it'd be worse with Rex. And I wasn't even someone saying hire Rex. I was simply saying I probably would take Rex over other first-timers who'd never done the job, especially if it was another first-time defensive guy. They were never going to hire back Rex, though. It was never happening. But the point is, there's been nothing that we could sink our teeth into as Jet fans that we could say, yes, it's painful now, but it's going to get better. They've given you nothing to latch on to. Like, what can I tell you guys that's been better so far? Everything's been worse. The special teams is the only thing, and unfortunately, that's the least important unit on the team. It's important, but it's not the end-all, be-all. Tyler became a member. Thank you. Black Gypsy gifting a membership. Thank you. Cuddy, Kid Cuddy, shout out to you. He is now a channel member. Mariah checks in. We don't need 3 Williams on the roster. I mean, if Isaiah Williams is allowed on the team flight tonight, embarrassing. Tom D, we're not the same old Jets. We're 10 times worse. It's really hard to argue they're not worse. Seriously. People are mad at me on Twitter for saying that. It's true. It's true. They had 400 yards tonight, 100 more than the Dolphins, and they lost because they committed 3 turnovers and had 101 yards in penalties. Brutal. Derek checks in. How can we even trust Glenn to pick a quarterback at this point? You can't. You trust Muji to pick the quarterback? How can you trust anyone to do anything right now? We're just sitting here blindly rooting for them because they wear Jets. They wear the laundry we root for. I can't trust anyone. Honestly, if you allowed Jet fans to vote in a Twitter poll for personnel decisions over the last 10 years, we would do a better job. And that's not to say we're experts. We just are better than the people that have been in charge for so long. It's embarrassing. Dorino says, you produce way too good of a show for this team. Thank you, man. Bernard, you say you still love me. I appreciate you, Bernard. Sam says, stupid penalties, stupid on special teams, stupid not going for it in the second to last drive. Agreed. Punting with 7 minutes to go. The Dolphins gained the 35 yards of net that the Jets gained on that punt in 2 plays. Brilliant strategy by Coach Glenn. NY Jets Girl, just sending you money. Feel bad. You have to be the voice of this mess. Thank you, Jets Girl. The Rooster says, boy, for the first time, AG was nice to the press. He ate a slice of humble pie. You look shell-shocked. He has no answers. He has no answers. He is shell-shocked. He has no clue. He thought he acted like it was going to be easy to come in here the way he talked. That's why this fan base is pissed. He talked that big game. Oh, he pushed back on questions from Connor Hughes and Rich Samiti in the summer. Yeah, let's go. It means nothing if you don't win. The honeymoon's been over. Moral victories, you could shove it up where the sun don't shine. They're 0-4 now. And tonight's not a moral victory, by the way. If we're keeping track, the Jets are now 2-2 in moral victories. Tonight is not a moral victory. You played a winless team that gave you the game, and you said, we're good. We'd rather lose. We suck. Craig says 12 penalties. No. 12 penalties. 13 penalties, Craigie boy. WD, it's time to unleash Operation Allen and get the Joe Alt of quarterbacks. Fire Glenn like the Pats did the Mayo. That's the conversation that's coming if they keep losing. I'm not advocating for Glenn to be fired. I want to make it clear. It's still 4 games. And who are you replacing him with in season right now? He's getting the year. They didn't fire Adam Gase in year 1 after a 1-7 start. He didn't get fired during a 2-14 season. Glenn's not getting fired. But the idea that they couldn't pivot to someone else if someone magically becomes available, once again, would be a poor decision. And I don't care if Glenn was a great Jet. We'll judge him as a head coach, and let's see how he does the rest of the way. But right now, the staff for Aaron Glenn that you don't want to be associated with is Lou Holtz and Adam Gase, only coaches in Jets history to start their Jet career 0-4. Carlos, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Mr. Crunk says, I was at the game, first row, 50-yard line in the 72 club. Best part about the game was the free food and drinks. Sucked watching the Jets beat themselves. What happened to the defensive disciplinarian? It never exists. Bo says, yo, it's compliment. I had to watch the Mets yesterday, so today was just the cherry on top of my embarrassment as a New York sports fan. Thank God I'm a Yankee fan. I do feel for the Met Jet fan. I'm sorry. It's brutal. If you're a Knick fan, at least the Knicks are really good. Pray they stay healthy, because they could legitimately get to an NBA Finals. I mean, it sucks. Hopefully, Judge and Stanton hit some bombs tomorrow if you're a Yankee Jet fan like I am, and they beat the Red Sox. It's just, I love football, man, and that's what hurts so much. Like football, I love the other sports. Obviously, I host shows on ESPN New York. We talk about everything. But, like, I love football so much, and the Jets have been so bad, and it really just hurts my love of watching it. Like, the fact that I still love it as much as I do, despite how bad the Jets have been. Like, if this team was just 9-8 for a year, I'd die for that. It hurts. It hurts. Mad team. Other than Gibson, Glenn has held no one accountable. I mean, Isaiah Williams was back out there to fair catch at the 2-yard line. I still can't believe that happened. How stupid is this team? Fair catch at the 2-yard line. What are you doing? What are we doing? I hate this team so much. Joe says it's ownership. By the way, put the Gotham throwback gear in the shed. No one's buying that. I don't know, man. By the way, how ugly were the Dolphins jerseys tonight, too, by the way? What horse shit. And we couldn't even beat them in those ugly things. Leo says this isn't a coincidence. Since 2000, Woody takes over the team. He's hired only first-time head coaches. Well, he technically he hired Gase, but that was his brother. But Woody was still the owner then. Yeah, I mean, it's so Jets, right? Since Parcells, they've only hired first-time defensive coaches minus Adam Gase. You do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. I don't know what to tell you. And I said this at the time. So I don't want hindsight's 2020. Nah, this was in real time. And I got so much shit for not being anti-Aaron Glenn. It was being anti a first-time coach in this situation and a first-time general manager. Someone needed to have experience in these roles. We suck. That's the bottom line. We suck. I just, God really hates us. I don't know what we did in a past life. Some of the worst teams in the league can accidentally get off to a 3-1 start. The Jets, even with Salah, they were 6-3 a few years ago. 7-4. John writes in, would he grow a sack, hire Gruden when we get the number 1 pick? And I'm a Glenn guy, but F it, we ball. If they're picking number 1 overall, I don't want Aaron Glenn back next year. I'll say it. All right, I'm sorry. If this team is somehow bad enough to have the first pick in the draft, something they have not done in 30 years, why are we sticking with this coaching staff? They're rotten. You won't be able to come back from that. The stench of losing that Glenn, in this case, is supposed to be eradicating, the stench of losing, he's not eradicating anything. He's creating more of that stench. He's adding to the stench. I didn't want to go there, get the number 1 overall pick. But you know what? I got news for you. Right now, until they win games, that's what, unfortunately, we're talking about. This is the draft order right now. They'd be picking number 2. Do I think they're going to be finishing in the top 2? No, probably not, because that's not how it goes. Jets will win some games late like they always do. Probably that last game against the Bills will be playing for nothing. They'll win that game, and then Aaron Glenn will tell us how awesome it is to end the year strong. You can see it now. He'll be hitting the dance in the post-game presser. I'm so sick of losing, man. Michael says, so disappointing Mason Taylor at least becoming an option. Yeah, I mean, he was a positive. They showed Jason Taylor on the broadcast tonight, and I was wondering what he was going to be wearing. He wore his Hall of Fame jacket. Smart. I was like, is he going to actually wear jet gear at a Dolphin game? But no. Zach Taylor was there too. It was Mason's uncle. Justin writes in, can we talk about how we had 6 coaches since Rex, 15 years since a playoff berth? The organization is dysfunctional. This comes from the owner down. We understand the owner's a problem, but people said the same thing about James Dolan, and then he hired Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose, and the Knicks turned it around because they hired the right people. If Glenn and Muji are good at their jobs, I don't think it's easy. I don't think we're blaming Woody right now. I'm not trying to defend Woody either. Woody Johnson is a horrible owner. His record speaks for itself. All right? But James Dolan is considered the worst owner in sports until he wasn't. Woody oversaw these hires. These are his hires. They better work out. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. RD says, well, at least the Mets. Oh, wait. Brutal. Tyrone says, you're the best, Jake. I'm here for the show. Thanks for your passion. I guarantee you we'll see a Super Bowl one day. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. This show will continue to talk Jets. We'll do more NFL coverage too. I just, I dread what these next couple of weeks are going to look like because unfortunately, this is going to be the worst it's been in terms of like interest in the team. Because when I started doing this was Salah's first year, Zach Wilson was in his rookie year. Even though they were losing, let's see if Zach can improve. He's a young quarterback. You wanted to be hopeful. Year 2, they got off to a great start, right? They were 6-3. It was the most fun I ever had doing the show in season. Yeah, we're drinking Henny after games. That's where that tradition started. 2023 was a nightmare because Rodgers got hurt, but the offseason was insane. The hard knocks in the summer. And they got off to a 4-3 start. They bought us some time before the season imploded. The season's imploded. We couldn't even make it to Columbus Day. It's September 29th right now. We couldn't even make it to Columbus Day, damn it. Tom D. Anyone returning kicks other than Isaiah Davis is absurd. Williams sucks. Braylon back there pissed me off. He's a bowling ball. Power back, not explosive, looks slow. He fumbles and got him hurt. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. By the way, the Jets' -7 turnover differential is dead last in the NFL. You know what a well-coached team does? Wins the turnover battle. Not have the worst turnover differential in the league. They suck, man. They're so poorly coached. I hope Glenn figures it out, but this is an abomination. Don't defend it, Jet fans. Don't say, what did you expect? You didn't expect this. Deep down, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You hate it. You want to punch me in the face. Guess what? You know I'm right. It shouldn't be this bad. It's alarming how bad it is. Mr. Weed says, I called 4-17 back in March. Looks like I was too generous. Well, Weed, I would say you lay off the weed, because 4-17 is not a record that you could have. Appreciate the sentiment, though. Slight jab. This is the first time I've cried. You cried tonight. Wow. After all these years, I can't take it anymore. I just want my dad to see one more great game by the Jets. I'll tell you what, if you go on YouTube and you type in Super Bowl III, you can watch back the entire game. I've done it many times. It's awesome. All right? That's what I recommend you do with your dad.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
All right? Because you're not going to watch good football this year. We already know. Let's be real. We know where this is going, right? The last time they were 0-4, they won 2 games. Every other time they started 0-3. So they were 0-3 for the 4th time the last 7 years, right? The most wins they ever had during that stretch was 7. That was Gase's first year, where they got very lucky beating up a bunch of bad teams, bad quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, etc. That team sucked. Every other year, it's 4 wins. Like we might win 4 games this year, maybe. I predicted 6 initially. Once they got rid of Rodgers, I was smelling 4. I should have just stayed at 4. Probably is going to end up being 4. They'll win like 3 of their last 4. We know how this goes. Edward says, bad officiating, 3 missed personal foul calls, most egregious, not protecting a quarterback coming back from concussion, inexcusable. I mean, they missed a ton of calls, absolutely. The Jets also just beat themselves. Now, the one hit that I was screaming at, Fields got decked 5 yards out of bounds, and they don't throw the flag. Any other quarterback, immediately, personal foul. They flow it in a nanosecond. Mahomes, Allen, anyone, even guys that aren't even that good. If that's Kirk Cousins, are throwing the flag. But Justin Fields can't get a call now? Well, he plays for the Jets. Why would he? That's not why they lost. I just would like to vent because I hate everyone right now. Besides my listeners, you guys are great. Thank you for watching. Another Mike says, I just don't know what to do anymore, Jake. WTF. I don't know, man. Reptar says, only one team to start 0-4 made the playoffs, and that was in 92. Tank now, fire Glenn, attract a real head coach with the #1 pick in town on the roster. Okay, man. Tank now. Great. How exactly do you go about that? I got news for you, Reptar. They don't have to tank. Just keep doing what they're doing. They just lost to a team that was thought to be the worst team in the league, or one of them. They are the worst team in the league. The Jets. They don't got to do anything different. They're playing the Cowboys next week. Dallas, is scoring at least 27 points. The Jets won't. They're going to go across the pond, and they're going to beat Denver? Okay. Cheeseman says, love you guys more than the team. Oh, at this point, I love the Jet fan more than I do the team. The Jet fan, it's like a special breed of passion. Mr. Downtown says, first time 0-4 since Gase, but Aaron Glenn hasn't really shown bad tendencies like clock. Okay. Stop it. He hasn't really shown he hasn't had opportunities to manage the clock because they're never in these games. They're playing miracle catch-up to try and give themselves a chance. He hasn't shown bad tendencies. How about tonight with 7 minutes to go and he punted when they were down 2 scores? Hasn't shown bad tendencies. I'll show you what his tendencies are. They're shit.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
They have the worst turnover differential in the NFL. They're one of the most penalized teams again in the league. They had 13 accepted penalties tonight. They blew a 4th quarter lead in week 1. They blew a 4th quarter lead in week 3. They were not competitive against a division opponent in week 2. Am I talking about Adam Gase or Todd Bowles or Robert Saleh or Jeff Ulbrich? Or am I talking about Aaron Glenn? He's just as bad as any of them. Carlos, which team and game do we expect the Jets to win? I couldn't tell you. Maybe Carolina. Brendan says, on a funnier note, anyone see Ray Lucas get Coldplayed? I don't know what this means. Ray Lucas was at a Coldplay concert and got caught cheating like the CEO of that company did. Is that what this means? I have no idea. Brendan, please fill me in. Thomas says, hire Gruden, draft 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If they hire Gruden, at least it will be fun as hell. All right? We're probably not going to win with him either. But it will be fun as hell. It really will. Unreal. All right. Almost caught up on Super Chats. I promise calls are coming. Carla says, Jets are cursed. You're probably right. I didn't want to buy into it, but how do we not think they're cursed, right? I mean, at what point do you just go, you know what? Maybe they are. I'm not buying the accountability BS. Glenn was seen literally patting Allen on the head after his fumble, irrelevant a month before Halloween. Yeah, I mean, certain players, you're going to obviously try and build up, or you're going to, be more aggressive with the worst players. But, like, there's too many examples of this team not being held accountable. Isaiah Williams literally went back out there to fair catch a punt at the 2 after he fumbled earlier in the game. Michael Clemens is still on this team, no? Accountability. Sure. Jackson, Tony Adams can't tackle a tackle dummy. Tyler said, you know what? Here's the thing with Tony Adams. They brought him back, all right? It's easy to pick on Tony Adams, who's a UDFA, who's had a, but by expectation-wise, he's had a better NFL career than anyone could have ever hoped for. Like, if you said the Tony Adams family, would you sign for being on the Jets 3 years in? They would have said, holy fuck, absolutely. All right? Like, we can't blame Tony Adams for being bad. They should know. They should know he's bad. They brought him back. They didn't bring back Brandon Eccles, who they should have brought back. No, they brought back Tony Adams instead. They kept Michael Clemens on this team. Like, these are moves they made. And while obviously Glenn and Muji need more time, and saying that they suck 4 games is not totally fair, but if we can evaluate them on the moves they've made, what have they done really well? Hunter, I'll give them. McNamara has been great. I didn't like moving on from Morstead. We got a punter, folks. Hell yeah. Bringing Nick Folk back. No brainer. More than Joe Douglas ever did. Right? Great. What other moves have been outstanding this offseason? Keeping Alan Lazard? Brilliant. Josh Reynolds is our number 2 wide receiver? Fantastic. What are these moves? The moves they made, Phillips and Briggs for the defensive tackle, good moves. It's not enough, man. And if we're going to say, oh, well, Jamie and Sherwood's bad now, they paid him. Steve Wilkes is he hired him. Tyler says, Beast Breaker's ass crack put up a better fight than this. I'll tell you what, I got one of the dumbest emails in the history of the email tonight from Beast. It is so stupid. I need you all to enjoy it, all right? And then we'll get to your calls here. Because if we don't laugh at this, all right, I don't know. I might have an aneurysm. Because I'm losing my mind having to think about getting through 13 more games of this. Here's an email from Beast, by the way. It sounds like we won't be seeing him until probably tomorrow when he forgets he even sent this email and calls back in. He says, Jake, I've been a Jet guy for 27 years. Tonight was enough. Now, if you don't see me tomorrow, I'm busy with personal stuff. I need to get some things to straighten out. Don't worry. Let me be by myself. I'm still the man, but I love the Jets. Still good or bad, this team still shit the bed tonight. Penalties ate us up. Bad enough, I'm off the bed. I have enough things to do, like win a Ken O'Brien jersey or Garrett Wilson jersey. You mean Beast try and win jerseys on this show, but you're not going to watch the show? Okay. I know that will never happen. Yeah. So I'm off the bed. I can't watch the rest of this game. It's shit. That was at 9:57. So I don't know at what portion of the game this was, but Beast Breaker went to bed. So Tyler's statement's not entirely off, though. Beast ass crack did, in fact, put up a better fight than the Jets did tonight. Julio says the 30-13 owes Jets fans a refund. I'll be sure to let Mike know when I see him on Sunday. I hope Mike Tannenbaum's ready for me, man. Tune in to me and Mike this Sunday, 8 to noon on ESPN New York. Looking forward to it. Let's see. John says, Gruden, number 1 pick, top quarterback, sexy Rexy as DC. I'd fire Wilkes now and hire Rex as the DC if he wanted the job. It will never happen, but I'll tell you what, our defense wouldn't be this dog shit if Rex was our DC. It wouldn't be. Jason says this seems a joke. Yeah, you're not wrong. The fan base is great. The team is a joke. Jersey Mike says the time's returning around. Parcells and Rex, they brought in their own to change the culture. Curtis, Richie Anderson, Bart, Leonard. We have 0 winners. I will say I am surprised that Glenn didn't bring that many people or really anyone in from the Lions with him. Because I do agree there's something to that. Like Rex brought in Bart. He brought in Jim Leonard, right? He brought in Marquise Douglas. He brought in his guys. He did. Robert says, do you think we see the Lions win the Super Bowl before the Jets make the playoffs? If I was betting on it, yes. There are better odds on the Lions winning a championship before the Jets make the playoffs next. I mean, how could there not be? The Lions are one of the betting. They might do it this year. Who knows? Ryan says, Jake is a diehard fan. I can't do this anymore. Our team ripped my heart out. There's nothing to look forward to. I'll still support you, though. Yeah, I mean, I made my bed covering this team, man. I really thought I was getting in at the right time, too. Right? Solid year one, Zach Wilson. I'm thinking like young team. Then in 2022, right? That offseason, they had this unbelievable draft. Sauce, Garrett, Jermaine, Brees. They start 6. I'm thinking this team's going to be good. Like, this is awesome. Nope. Corey, Zach Wilson would have won this game if he was. Let's not be dumb. Mr. Downtown. You know what? This is such an asinine comment here. It has to be done. Corey, thank you for watching the show. We all love you, but your day is done. Farewell.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
All right, we interrupt the super chats for someone to be sent to the hole. Downtown says, got to be mad at the GM. Only OW and GW and Mason Taylor. What does that mean? Only offensive weapons are. Yeah, Muji deserves criticism. But guys, you got to understand something. Glenn has more power than Muji. Woody Johnson referred to Muji as Glenn's sidekick at the introductory press conference. They are a head coach-driven organization. There's not a move that's made that Aaron Glenn is not on board with. It's also his team. Peter Castro says Glenn sucks, period. And Peter was the biggest Glenn guy. Peter, 11 wins. What happened? We lost Castro. No. 11 wins. If you give the Jets 30 games, do they get to 11 wins? I'll give you double the amount of games. Do they get to 30? Brendan says, Beast might be hanging up. Understandable. Jake, you might need to do a wellness check. Beast is in bed right now. All right. He's sleeping. He'll be fine. He'll be sending me a strongly worded email tomorrow morning.
Dear Jake.
All right. Call's coming up here. Tyler says, Jake, at this point, losing makes you more money. See, it really doesn't, folks. Here's what happens, right? We're all mad. We're pissed off now. Many of you watching right now, God bless the 1,700 of you watching live right now. Unbelievable, right? After the anger subsides, then the apathy starts. Then you check out. My views last November and December went horrible. Other content creators will tell you the same thing. The anger is great initially as far as like people being engaged, and then you go. There's nothing better than winning. Winning, everyone's happy. Vibes are high. People want to come to my watch parties. People want to come to events. They want to buy merch. They want to get memberships for the community. When the losing starts, it's actually the worst thing ever, which is why I'm grateful that 42,000 of you have subscribed despite how bad this team has been. If this team was ever just decent, we'd have double the subscribers. And I'm talking like 9-8, sneaking in as the wild card and get bounced by the Chiefs in the first round. That would be a dream season for Jet standards. So no, I don't make more money when the team loses. It's actually the opposite, the total opposite. So I wish I could say, yeah, but no, it's actually the worst when they start losing. Brutal. All right. To your calls we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Luppy, the Lup Man's first tonight. Hello, Luppy. Uh-oh, Luppy, I can't hear you.
Better?
There you go.
Are you fucking serious, Jake? This is fucking crazy. I'm so pissed off. This is like, God damn it. Somebody can cover Hill. Somebody give a. The fact of the matter is that Tyreek Hill would have killed us if he didn't get hurt. I mean, what the hell are we doing? I mean, this defense sucks. This Jet team sucks. I can't take it anymore, Jake. I can't take it anymore. I fucking can't. God, Jake, we are looking like the losers of the fucking NFL. Can't take that anymore. Aaron Glenn, take your fucking celebration, stick it up your ass. I can't take it anymore, Jake. I can't. Jake, where's my hope? Where is anything, everybody's hope? What are we doing here? God, seriously, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I will always be here, but I can't take it. It's like suicide by can't take it anymore.
Hang in there, Luppy. I would tell you it's going to get better, but come on now. We know it.
No,
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
It never gets better. I do appreciate you, Luppy. Philly Noodles, you're next.
Yo, he was lit. All right, so I watched the game simulcastly with BG, and then my son called, and I spoke to him the entire rest of the game, right? He goes to me at some point, he goes, Dad. I said, yeah. He goes, I love you. I said, yeah, of course I love you, bro. He's like, we suck. I was like, yes, we do, buddy. I'm so sorry. We fucking suck. And then right after that statement occurred, Fields fumbled the ball, and I was ahead of him on the watch, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro?" I'm flipping my lid, and he goes, "Mom, Dad is pissed off, bro." I was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." I said, "At this moment, you can now, if you need to check out of Jets fandom, you can do it." And he goes, "No, Dad, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not saying I'm gonna do that, but we really suck." I said, "No, yeah, we do, bro.
Oh yeah,
I love you. Just hang on." I said, if you meet another Jets fan that's your age, that's your best friend, dude. I said, don't ever lose that kid's contact because I don't think you'll ever meet anyone tighter as a friend than a Jets fan. I'm like, we can't dude, there's so many things to go over. If that kid Williams, like you said, is on the plane, if that kid has a fucking job tomorrow, I'm shocked. He should be fired immediately. Like, they need to, pack your locker, you out tomorrow morning when he gets to the wherever. You're done, bro. You're gone.
It's a disgrace. I mean,
the kids got to go.
Yeah, it's the fact that he was back out there to fair catch a punt at the 2 after he fumbled. What are we doing? We're not a serious organization with that.
I was like, and then the crazy part is he stopped, saw the flag get thrown for where the possession was, and he stepped back and he was like, "Oh shit, I was really right there. How the fuck did you not notice where you were?" That's like nobody knew where they were, what was going on. Justin Fields threw a lame duck, and Garrett Wilson again had to make a miracle catch. This guy's going to run out of ways to stretch his body to catch a football with the way the fucking Jets quarterbacks throw footballs at him. Like I was like, there's no way that ball even makes it over there. It fucking flubbered its way in there. He comes, I don't know how he caught that shit. I don't know what he's doing, but he just keep doing it. But it's like, bro, I don't know, man. Like, I wanted to listen. I predicted 6 wins, 7, 8 would be crazy. I guess I should have went under 6, but I'm pissed off because everyone should be. The Denver Broncos were shit. They're better. This team was shit. They're better. This team can be shit. They're better. The Browns pulled a win with Flacco this season, and they beat Green Bay, and we can't even get a fucking smell of a victory at the end of the game. It's so disturbing. Like, it really is getting fucking crazy, dude. Like, I understand Aaron Glenn said the moral shit. I've been sailed on that, and I understand we're building a culture, but it's like you gotta fucking like. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be there for week 5. I swear to you, bro. I might just be burning everything right in the parking lot. Everything.
Well, you're going to be a minority compared to the Cowboys fans. Let's be real. The building is going to be 70% Dallas fans now.
Oh, yeah. It might be really bad. It's going to be – listen, I mean, I don't even want to hear what the CD Lamb's not going to be there. Okay. I just saw Waddle and fucking Darren Waller's ghost of a human being score 2 touchdowns.
Well, like, think about it, right? Mike Evans got hurt at the end of the game last week, wasn't in there in the fourth quarter. Tonight, Tyreek Hill didn't play in the second half. And next week, CeeDee Lamb's not going to play. Who cares? They can't stop anyone.
doesn't matter.
They suck. They'll beat themselves. They'll probably tease you with a good drive to start. Oh, my God, maybe they turn the corner and then be exactly the same what they have been all year, a bad coach team.
Yo, if you didn't get to see it, Herm Edwards broke it down 100%, obviously saying the Jets beat the Jets, but he goes, honestly, you got to think about it. Is their quarterback built to win games in the NFL? He goes, everyone is a great athlete to get to the NFL. And then you're a good athlete, but it doesn't mean you're built to win games. Like 4-2 last year with Pittsburgh, God bless them. That obviously that ain't coming out of this coaching staff. It's not happening. I mean, really? Like, I mean, do you let it ride again, or do you cut the loss, right? Let him walk, get another backup, and then obviously pick at the top of the draft another quarterback?
I mean, Philly, they're gonna draft a quarterback, and the reality is because of Fields' contract, he's probably here as the bridge going into next year. But I mean, he's a backup in this league. He's a high-end backup. He can't consistently throw. This team's gonna be 0-6. They suck. They really do. They suck. I hate to be this down. Usually I can find something. I got nothing. C writes in with a super chat. The offense has some sense of pulse, but this effing defense is useless. The offense really doesn't have that much sense of a pulse. All right. They ran the ball against a Dolphins defense that was the worst in the league at stopping the run, and they still beat themselves. Right. There were moments. Garrett Wilson's special. We're wasting one of the great Jets to ever play for our franchise. Garrett Wilson's on number 9 all time in career receptions. If he stays healthy and plays most of his career, hopefully all of it with the Jets, he'll have every record. Seriously. He will have every record when it's all said and done. And they're wasting every second of it. That guy could play on anyone's team in the league. He's that good. All right. He's a competitor. He wants to win. And then they just suck. They suck. Terrible. They do not deserve to win games when you give games away the way they have. They don't deserve it. They have gone out there and they have continued to be the team that we have seen during this playoff drought. A team that beats itself and is poorly coached. Nothing has changed. Nothing. Cheeseman says, my niece's Jets onesie says Jets Rookie of the Year. She has my vote at this point. I'd play her over most players on this team right now. Abu Dhabi Jet fan. Jake, we do a health and welfare check on Beningo. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Abu Dhabi. Joe B will join us, and I'm sure he's in a jolly mood.
I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.
Justin, in our raffle tomorrow, for those of you who missed it, this is the last show to qualify for our 3 prizes in our weekly raffle series. Signed Sack Exchange jersey, signed Bart Scott jersey, signed TJ Mosley jersey. Anthony Logerado says, until we get a real coaching staff and quarterback, I see no hope in sight. Fair. Steven says, week 8, Bengals versus Jets. Both teams might be fighting for a win. Bengals look bad without Burrow and might not win until week 8. I think the Panther game is winnable for the Jets. And yeah, that Bengal game looks very winnable. I mean, they'll win some games. They won't be winless, but this team sucks. They suck. They stink. They're as bad as any team that you have. I mean, they're as bad as any team in the league right now after that performance tonight. How are they not? They do everything a bad team does. They really do. They've won 10. The Jets have now lost 10 straight home games to the Dolphins. And the Dolphins have been a mediocre team for much of that. The Dolphins haven't had a takeaway all year. They had 3 of them tonight. Like all the stats I could give you. You know what it highlights? That this Jets team is poorly coached. They're a bad football team. 13 penalties and 3 turnovers. Only team without a takeaway this season. They're the 5th team in the last night. These are from ESPN. I just got notes emailed to me. These are the 5th team in the last. Jets are the 5th team in the last 90 seasons to start 0-4 with 0 takeaways. Joining the 2020 Texans. I covered that team. They sucked. 2019 Broncos, 2013 Steelers, and 2005 Texans. Aaron Glenn is also 0-4 to start his head coaching career. Glenn has tied Adam Gase, 2019, and Lou Holtz, 1976, for the longest losing streak by a head coach to start their Jets career in franchise history. Jets dropped to 6-26 in division games since 2020, the worst by far of any team during that span. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? C checks in. You could see we're getting the C from his teammates did for Garrett. The only one on the sidelines trying to pick up his guys. Different attitude from years past. Hope he gets to see it turned around this time here. We can only hope Garrett Wilson has a Mike Evans-like career. And what I mean by that is Mike Evans balled every year on bad teams, bad quarterback situations. Eventually, he stayed loyal to that team. Brady showed up. They won a ring. Now he's got Baker. We can only hope that we get something similar for Garrett, because that's where his career is headed, right? He'll be criminally underrated nationally because he's not playing a lot of primetime games. Although every time Garrett Wilson does play in a primetime game, he makes the catch of the NFL season, which he did again tonight, arguably. Unbelievable catch. The catch last year against Houston, I was at that game. Catch week 1 in the Rodgers goes down game, I was at that game. Like, every time he plays in primetime, he balls. But this team is ass. All right, more of your calls. These two, I'm sure, are fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a combo call. But we sing along first.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
I have a special guest with me here. It's guess who this is. You have one guess.
I'm gonna say it's TJ Maxx Rob over there.
Rob wants to make his statistical points. I told him nothing. I don't want to hear anything about anybody. No receipts about you know what. You know what he's thinking about, Jake. And then I want Boomtown to get his calculator out because I'm going to make my 13 points. But let's start with Rob. Rob?
Jake, I want to kill someone. Here, Jake.
You can break that if you want. I'll let you break that. Yeah, break it.
Jake.
Break it.
No.
Smash it with your whole hands. Smash.
I have too much respect.
Smash.
I have too much respect for Michelle. Jake, what are we looking at here? First time coach, and we're seeing the same garbage. We all wanted an experienced coach, including Kumba here, and myself and yourself. This was too big of a job for this guy to do, okay? I don't see any improvements here. I see 13 penalties. I see mistake on top of mistake. But yet, there's a lot of people willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, which I won't mention names because Neil made me stop. But I'm not happy for what I see. You know, you had a portion of the channel who were really happy about Aaron Glenn. So far, I see him making mistake over mistakes. He does not know what he's doing. He's made a ton of mistakes. You've seen it today. We're not happy with what's going on. We're 0-4. Chances of us doing anything this year is already shot. And you know what? If we get to the point of being like 2-15 this year, Jake, you have to start thinking that I don't even know if he's going to survive another year.
No, he'll be 1 and done. At 2-15, he's 1
I mean,
and done.
he's going to be, yeah. I mean, Kumba's right here. He'll be 1 and done. So I don't know what to tell you, Jake. But you know what? I saw a ton of mistakes here. I saw 1 or 2 good things here and there, but the majority was the same old Jets. They get pissed off when you say same old Jets. But let's be honest, Jake. They deserve that same old Jets because they're doing the same crap. That they're not fixing things here. And he gets offended, Aaron Glenn, when you say same old Jets. But clean up this crap. They're doing the same garbage, Jake. I'm freaking fed up.
Okay, good. You done?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let
you're done.
take over.
Now, there's 4. Right now, there's how many people in this goddamn show right now?
1,400.
1,400. Jake, what's your Venmo address?
If
What's
people
your
don't-
Venmo address?
It's my name, Jake Dash Asby. People don't need to Venmo me for the Jets being
Jake
bad.
Dash Asman, this is the best psychiatrist that we all would need if we did not have Jake. Because if we did not have Jake, I would have to pay some psychiatrist tons and tons of money for me to lay in a chair and talk about how fucked up I am by being a fan of this piece of shit team and continually doing it year in, year out, week in, week out. Everybody send Jake $10. I come out to $20,400. Send him the goddamn money and let him have the 20 grand. Maybe we'll go have a party with it later in the season. He could go take us to Chef Kevin's. We'll have a nice time. I'm sure he's not going to keep it all. He'll give it some back. So everybody put the $10
Woody should be paying you, Neil. No one should be paying me, man.
Okay,
the
so
Jets should
that's
be
that.
paying you.
Now,
and
I
everyone
will
watching.
say this. When you see Mr. Tannenbaum, Mr. 33 and a half, whatever the fuck it is, you tell him we're going to have a new consulting company that I'm going to be starting. Okay. I'm not saying I want to be part of the decision making, but I'm going to have a team, the 33rd and a half. Okay. We're going to start it next year, off season. Okay. Here's who's going to be on the staff of the 33 and a half. And we're going to we're going to get Woody Johnson. Trust me. I will talk to whoever it needs to be. We will run it up the ladder. It will be Fireman Ed. Will be one of the consultants on the 33rd team. Do we agree with that, Jake? Is that a good addition?
What if we call ourselves the 33rd cigar, Neil?
We're going to call ourselves whatever. Joe Beningo is another one of the consultants. Evan Roberts, I will put him on there because he's been miserable like us. Jake Asman, of course, is going to be on there. And we're going to have Steve Asman on as one of the, we'll have an OG section. Okay, the OG section is Fireman Ed, Joe Beningo, myself, Evan Roberts, Rich Southern Jet. We're going to have Green Bean. That's the OG section of the consulting group. Then we're going to have the newer ones who are going to be like, the guys like Dylan, BGF. And I swear to God, Jake, I'm doing it. I'm going to put this together. And we're going to have our own. And the next goddamn coach we hire, and the next thing, we, the fans, are going to have to make the choice on who it's going to be. I can't see us doing any worse. I mean, is it possible that we could pick a worse coach and a worse coordinator and a worse staff than what we put together here? These guys are way over their heads. There's guys shifting in motion. Tyler Eggstrom. Now let's get to the points. How did we have Williams? You already went through this. Returning kicks, then he gets rewarded by going back to return. After he fumbles a kickoff, they reward him by having him return a fair catch a punt at the 2. Very nice reward. When Bill Belichick would have told him to pack his shit after he fumbled the first time. How do we wait until the fourth quarter to throw a ball into the end zone? That's an interesting point, wouldn't you say? No balls into the end zone until the end of the game when Garrett caught one miraculously. And maybe he would have caught 2. Maybe he would have thrown one in the end zone and got a PI. But, Miami was throwing the ball at Darren Waller in the end zone, which instead of Sauce Gardner pushing him in the legs and knocking him out of bounds, he tried to knock the ball out of his hands and help him put his feet down. Number 3, how do we come out after the fumble in the third quarter? We get the ball back after they score, Jake. And the first 2 play calls were what? What were the first 2 play calls? Did you look at the tape? I could tell you.
What were the calls, Dale?
Off left tackle, run Brees for 2. Mm-hmm. Off tackle again, Brees Hall for 1. That was the 2 genius plays they drew up after being in the locker room for 15 minutes and trying to figure out how to straighten things out.
Yep.
How many times did Justin Fields roll out in this game? How many times did he roll out? Would it, maybe roll out, throw to the tight end, maybe throw to the second level? How many times did he roll out? He only rolled out when he got bombarded. They had him in the pocket like he was Joe Namath with 2 bad knees. That's not Joe Namath we have quarterbacking. This is a running quarterback that is supposed to have designed runs.
I agree. They didn't roll him out. I do think there's something to that. They didn't, and they said it on the broadcast. They should have rolled him out a lot more. And they should have.
Jake, where's the RPO?
Well, hang on. When he had the RPO where he handed it to, he handed off, and and then the tight end was moving to the left. He handed the ball off for a 1-yard gain. He could have ran for 20 with a tight end in front of him. And nobody.
Yeah.
Now, this genius, talk about time management at the end of the half. There was a play when the entire Miami defense dropped back and our whole offensive line was standing in front of Fields with 25 seconds left in the quarter and the half. You mean to tell me it wouldn't have made sense for those guys to go forward and Fields to get behind them for at least 20 yards? Maybe he breaks one with the entire offensive line in front of you. Could have went for a touchdown. No. Throw the ball? Of all the things you could have done is go right into what they expected us to do. And then we throw it again. And thank God we got Folk Hero kicking a 56-yarder to at least score points at the end of the half.
By the way, 58, the way they ended the first half, they got bailed out by a great kicker who's still elite.
Hey, of course.
It was terrible. And once again, points to the fact, in Aaron Glenn's own words, the final 4 minutes of each half is where coaching can shine. And they were horrific in that scenario and got bailed out by a great kicker who still has it at age 40.
Okay.
Let me just say
shut up. You're done. Isaiah Davis. I talked about him running kicks back weeks ago. He is
What point are we on, by the way, Neil? I got a bunch of people on hold still.
That's 8. I'm almost done.
All right.
Isaiah Davis, is the only guy that deserves to have he plays to win. He's a guy that gets it. And the only other guy that even deserves to have a number worn on my chest is this guy right here. Everybody else is garbage and dispensable on this entire 53-man roster. You tell me anybody that's not dispensable on this roster, and you're full of shit. I'll argue to you till I die. Okay? How's Adams still on the field? Sauce is getting picked on now every week. They're going after Sauce because he's showing that either he grabs or he can't cover or he makes a penalty or, he never turns around. Breece Hall, went into after he made his first run in the first play of the game, he ran to the sideline. What is he doing on the sideline when he ran the first play?
Is he tired?
Is he tired? He looked like Breece Hall, Jake, looked to me like he gave up. He wasn't, you look at that guy on the Giants Scatterbo, he wants to eat the fucking football when he runs. You follow me, Jake? He wants to eat it. Breece Hall sitting on the sideline like that.
What's going on?
What the fuck? Okay. They made Achane look like Jim Brown on a couple of runs. When he was running, we had more missed tackles. I swear to God, I never remember seeing so many missed tackles. And bottom line is, why is our secondary the worst in the league when Aaron Glenn is a secondary player?
You're supposed to be coaching them up.
If there's one thing that I depended on as him as a coach of this team, was at least to have a sound secondary. Wouldn't that be, is that too much to ask?
Jake, he's supposed to be coaching them up.
Is that too much to ask?
Our secondary is supposed to be so much
And wasn't Aaron Glenn a scout at one point or another?
Yeah.
What the fuck was he playing? Boy Scouts? The guy you're scouting Adams, you're scouting these guys, and you're not making a determination that they're not worthy of being on the 53-man roster, and you still have, not only are they on the roster, they're out there playing games. Yeah. And when did, what's his name, Isaiah Oliver come back? I thought that guy was gone. How did he make the team? Isaiah Oliver was playing today from last year. He gave me nightmares from the year before, running around. Cisco, my God. He didn't make a single play in 4 games. No turnovers in 4 games. They will set the record. It's my guess. They will set the record for most games without a turnover. I'm telling you, you're going to set that record. That's it.
Jake,
thank you, guys. I love the
Jake,
chat. Hey,
wait.
Everybody, you send Jake $10 on the Venmo.
Let me say
Everybody, that's 20 grand. Let's go have a party at the end of the year with it. Jake will throw a hell of a party. We'll get Cussbusters umbrellas for everyone. We'll get everybody, and I want everybody, listen to me, last thing. When I do the money raise for the 33rd and a half, and I swear to God, I'm dead fucking serious.
The 33rd.
We're doing the 33rd and a half consulting team, and we're going to go take this consulting team, and we're going to go to One Jet Strive. Me, Jake, Green Bean, BGF, the whole group. And we're going to go in front, and we're going to say, we're going to knock on the door. Say, can we see Mr. Johnson, please? Who is this? This is your fan base. Get his ass to the door, and we're going to tell you who to pick, what coaches to pick, what draft choices. We're going to put Dom in there to pick draft choices. We got the perfect consulting. How can anybody that's looked at this team as long as we have in this goddamn chat and not be able to make better decisions than what we had?
Jake.
That's why.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
That was an all-time deal call with Rob in the background there. Unreal. All right. Couple super chats. Right back to the calls here. Mark says, are Garrett Wilson and Paul Skeens in the same support group? Man, honestly, Garrett Wilson on the Jets is like Paul Skeens on the Pirates. It's not crazy. It's like having a Mona Lisa and displaying it in your garage. Really. It's just such a way. Garrett's an incredible player. They wasted. Everyone that super chatted, I got you for the raffle, by the way, goes without saying. I wanted to play this. Apparently, Breece Hall had an all-time quote after this game that's making the rounds. So I went and pulled the quote here. I haven't heard this yet. This is Breece being asked about the loss.
And what did you think of the game? That's more important.
It's just a tale of, 3 out of our 4 losses. Teams will shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. So you can't win if, defensively, if, or offensively, if we're not, converting on third down, if we're not getting us to third and manageables. We're in 2nd and 25, 2nd and 20, 1st and 15, getting stupid, dumb penalties and stuff. So that's been a frustrating thing because, we're moving the ball up and down the field at will, how we want to, or we'll come down and, get to the strike zone and then boom, 15-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty, and teams will just sit back in zone and, you can't really, they're willing to give up that 3 and not give up that 7. So that was a frustrating part, turnovers, and then making mistakes on, with, fumbles and all that type of stuff, crazy penalties. It's just been frustrating.
Teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. Breece Hall on the Jets. Breece Hall on Jet fans as well.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Breece Hall is probably not on this football team in 7 weeks. I mean, they're going to trade him. Why would we keep Breece Hall when the team is going nowhere? Sucks. I hate seeing him down like that. It's just, nothing you said there is wrong, though. Brutal. And I promise you, the team that acquires Breece Hall, he's going to be unbelievable. Because they'll probably go to a team that's contending and he'll be well coached and they'll utilize his skill set, which I don't think the Jets did a good job of tonight either. Also, thank you to Nicholas, a.k.a. Cheeseman, who actually sent me a Venmo. I'll put you in the raffle for 3. Nicholas, so thank you. No one has to Venmo me because the Jets are bad. But I appreciate the gesture, Neil. And thank you, Nicholas. Woody Johnson should be Venmoing all of us for still caring about this team as much as we do. I got so many people on hold right now. I'm going to try and get to everyone. So let's keep it rolling. I'll get back to the super chats. Let's go to Chris, who's up next. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Jake? I know for a fact that as soon as Breece leaves the team, he's going to be Saquon 2.0. It's guaranteed at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if he'll be that good, but I definitely think he's going to play really well no matter where he goes if he goes to the right team.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever felt worse as a fan than I do right now. There's so much to rant about after this game. The first point I want to get to is the constant man coverage. There's been people wide open for the past 3 weeks. The Steeler game was evident. The Bucks game was evident. Now you have Tyreek Hill before he got hurt and Jalen Waddle running a train on your defense. This man coverage has got to stop. They have to switch to zone. Do they even watch tape? They're getting constantly destroyed week in and week out. They have to switch. I mean, Wilkes, what are we doing? Does Wilkes even have a pulse at this point? We have to switch out of the man coverage. We're getting cooked every week. It's pointless. And the second point I wanted to make is the officiating. The officiating was awful. Mason Taylor was laying on the ground and someone literally ran their shoulder into his back and it was no call, and not even to mention the Fields play where he went out of bounds. It's such bullshit. I can't even, and I'm not making excuses. The Jets beat themselves up all day. They had no business winning that game at all, and they do this every week. They give you false hope and like make it seem like they're in the game at the end, and they still end up losing anyway. It's the same bullshit. It's the same old song and dance every week. Like I totally understand Jet fans being checked out. This is a complete misery and agony to watch week in and week out. So I mean, and the last point is, who are we even sucking for Fernando Mendoza, Drew Aller? I mean, like, are they really even going to be good if we're losing this many games? Like, is the talent on this team just overrated? I mean, we have to do something. I think the defensive coordinator needs to change as soon as possible if we keep on getting railed like this on defense. And like, what are we even doing as a team? We suck. We're 0-4. This is insane.
Chris, all well said. I will tell you, I would tell you that it gets better. I don't know if it does. When I was your age, the Jets actually were pretty good. They made the playoffs 6 times. It was a lot of fun.
I hope I can tell my kids, because my dad tells me this with the Yankees. Like, when my dad says that when he was a kid, the Yankees sucked and they were like always out of the playoffs. I hope I can tell my kids that about the Jets. And when I grow older, the Jets are like in the playoffs every year. That'd be such a relief. But I don't even know if I'm going to see a Super Bowl in my lifetime. I don't know if I'm going to see a playoff berth before I can be a legal adult. I'm driving next year, and the playoff drought is.
How old are you again, Chris?
I'm 15. The playoff drought is the same age as me.
Amazing. An entire generation has grown up, and they have not seen that. I mean, you haven't even seen an 8-win season. It's unreal, man. Unreal. Hang in there, Chris. Eventually, they won't suck. I don't know when, but eventually that will happen.
God bless Jet fans. This team does not deserve the fan base we have, Jake, and you're a huge part of it, so helping us through all this tough times, man. So thank you, and God bless Jet fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Grasso.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Brutal, man. Brutal. Gonzo, channel member. Thank you, Gonzo. We got you in the raffle for one tomorrow. Mari says, I feel bad for Q. Me too. Q, Garrett Wilson. How soon before Q has to be traded? Yeah, I mean, remember Quinn Williams said, here comes another rebuild. And Aaron Glenn said, no, we're here to win now and going forward. Okay. I mean, Quinn Williams has got to be just feeling like it's never going to happen for him. Think about it. That guy has been through Gase. He's now been through Saleh, Obrick. He's now on to Glenn. It's the same shit. Nothing's different. Jedaholic, can't do it anymore. Love y'all, but I'll probably be going ghost for a while. This is what I'm talking about. See? Jedaholic, great listener. Gone. He represents a lot of my audience that's gone because this team can't even make it to October before the season gets cooked. Couldn't even make it to Columbus Day. It's a joke. Carpetbagger writes in. We are all so about the game that should have been won by multiple touchdowns that we're still here ranting. So much potential, but stupid mistakes. Yeah, I mean, this is what bad teams do, though. We could say, they should have won. We've said that a lot over the last 15 years. Why? Because we've been a bad football team. Another Mike is on the line. But this person doesn't look like a Mike. Is your name Mike? Another Mike?
I'm not a Mike. I am another Natalie.
Your name is Natalie. Okay.
Yes.
Hello, Natalie. Why does it say another Mike?
Hello.
Who's Mike?
Mike is another Jets fan, but I decided to speak because I can't take it anymore. I cannot take it anymore. It's a snake bitten team. It has been since I've been a fan for the past, 10 years. We haven't even made it to the playoffs. This game everything about it was awful. The fair catch at the 2-yard line, I know you don't want to bring up the refs, but I have to bring up the refs.
They suck too. They did. I just don't want to give the Jets a pass.
Absolutely. They do not get a pass. But I mean, it's just every single play. I mean, every single play I can't do it.
Where have you been, Natalie? You're a diehard. How come it took you this long to finally call in?
I am a diehard. Actually, this is the first time I'm watching your show.
Oh,
so I love
do me a
it.
favor, don't read the comment section, all right?
I won't. I don't want to get my feelings hurt right now. I'm just a little bit nervous, but
you're doing a great job.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, the team. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to take. We have all these good players, right? And it doesn't matter how many good players we have. We can't be good. We're never good. Like we suck all game, and then the last quarter we come in and we try to play a little bit harder, and we do all right, but at the end of the day it's never enough. It's never enough. They come out after halftime and they start actually trying to play, and it's just not enough. It's just frustrating. The team is frustrating.
It's horrible.
So
I mean,
it is horrible.
These are things of a poorly coached team, though. What you're describing, some of it's just bad luck, right? The fact like it's inexplicable that
you can
the Jets,
say
they
poorly
fumbled 8
coached
times this year and lost 6 of them. They forced 5 fumbles out and recovered any of them. Some of that's just bad luck, but like everything else we're talking about, the penalties, the poor execution at the end of halves, the team not coming out ready to play to start games, these are all signs of a poorly coached team.
Absolutely. But I mean, I think Saleh was an all right coach, and don't say that. Yeah, whatever. And they did terrible. Watching, them play the Bucks last week with Todd Bowles, with his constant grin on his face, and they beat us. You know what I mean? It's just like, what coach is it going to take for them to start doing well? I don't know. I guess it is coaching, but it's also the players. It's both. It's the Jets, actually. It's just the Jets as a whole. They're just awful. So,
well, call back another time, Natalie. I love the passion.
I will call back another time. I was a little nervous, but whatever.
Tell Mike if there's a mic there that we say hello as well.
There is a mic there, and he would ramble on for hours. So,
is he a Jet fan as well?
The biggest.
I love it. Do me a favor,
the absolute
Mike,
biggest.
Send me an email, aswithjake@gmail. Send me your t-shirt size and an address, and I'll send you both merch. All right?
Oh, thank you so much.
It's better than Jet merch. Natalie, Mike, all the love. Great first call there. How about that? Love it. Natalie, you're also in our raffle tomorrow for 2. So good luck. Giving away 3 signed items during our first show tomorrow. Signed Mosley jersey, signed Bart Scott jersey, signed Sack Exchange jersey. South S says, Jake, I need to call in and scream. Join the club, South S. Join the club. But you're welcome on. In the meantime, let's say hello to young Connor Long, who might also never see this team win more than 7 games in a year. Hello, Connor.
Jake, you know me. I like to stay optimistic on this team. I had this team winning 8 games. And look, I always say schedule predictions don't mean anything. And I gave the team the benefit of the doubt the first 3 weeks of the year. I understood why you were so mad at this team. Losing.
Oh, I saw you after week 1. You were celebrating that moral victory. This was you on the sideline.
I don't know if I was celebrating the moral victory per se, but I was certainly looking at the positive side of things. I wasn't as mad as you were, but then week 2, I was distraught. Last week, I thought they were just outmatched, outplayed in every single facet. Someone would look at the score, Jake, watching the Jets lose by 2 points to Tampa Bay and say, oh, the Jets were competitive against a playoff team, a team that won their division last year. That wasn't the case. I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns against a prevent Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense and then blocked a field goal in a miraculous turn of events and brought it back for a touchdown. Then tonight, I mean, there's no excuse for anything that happened tonight. I'm going to start with Isaiah Williams on the kick returns. Like, for the first game of the year, the first time I saw him, why the hell did they sign this guy to this roster? No vision on kickoffs, no speed whatsoever. The thing that has annoyed me so much about this regime, Jake, is just the blatantly obvious roster decisions, calls that we can make and costing them football games. Xavier Gibson in week 1, Michael Clemens, Alan Lazard, they haven't directly cost this team football games, but it's evident anyone on the team's depth chart is better than them. Not to mention, on that fumble to open the second half that Isaiah Williams had, I was screaming the second he even decided to catch that ball. That would have rolled out of bounds before
Great
it
point.
reached the
I
end
should.
zone.
I don't know if I said that specifically. You're 1,000% right, Connor. That ball was going out. They would have started with at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, they would have started at the 40-yard line. He literally had to like tiptoe down the sidelines to avoid stepping out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So there was a huge miscue there from him. And same with Isaiah Davis. This is a coaching thing. The Jets aren't kneeling down when the kickoff goes into the end zone. I think that's a huge mistake. The ball now goes out to the 35-yard line if it is kicked into the end zone. So I think that's something that this team needs to work on. And frankly, they need to work on everything from top to bottom. I hate to be the in the moment, the erratic Jet fan, if you will, but you're looking at the schedule and it isn't like I would not call someone crazy if they predicted the Jets to be 0-8 entering the bye week.
Well, they're going to be 0-6 for sure. They're not beating Dallas next week. They're not beating Denver and London. Sorry to all the Jet fans who are going there. I know there's a lot. I was there last year. It's fun until the game starts to enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, look, upsets happen, right? The Browns just beat the Packers, but like there is no scenario where right now you could feel good about anything that truly matters about this team long term. You can't. The coaching's abysmal. The quarterback has been exactly what we thought Justin Fields is. Some good, some bad. There'll be some great moments, some awful moments. He is what he is. They're just bad. They're bad. Aaron Glenn was supposed to change a lot of this, and 4 games in, it's been, in some cases, even worse than it's ever been, which is scary.
Yeah, and the Braylon Allen injury, the thing that annoyed me the most about that is it's entirely avoidable. Put Arian Smith back there.
Why is he on kickoffs? Yep. Amen.
Yeah, why do you have a 235-pound running back returning kicks for you? Like, that's a net negative compared to a net positive when you talk about what you get out of that. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel so bad for Garrett Wilson. He should have had 2 great touchdown catches today. The one, I think, at the end of the game didn't get enough attention, just given the fact that it was in garbage time. One last point on the defense here before I let you move on, because I know you got a ton of callers left, and it's already
Isn't it past your bedtime, Connor? You have no school tomorrow?
I do, but I was writing a ton tonight, and I was like, as I was backstage, I was writing. So I was like, you know what? I might as well hold out to see if I can.
I love it. Connor, plug your channel. All right. We're going to have 20,000 plus people that probably see this episode.
I appreciate it, Jake. You're the best. I fill in for Jake when he's not around here in the off season. So shout out to you for the opportunities always, Jake, but you guys can find my work, NY Flight Jets Talk on YouTube, where I do daily Jets content. But the last point I wanted to make on this defense here, Jake, is just these guys who thrived under Saleh struggling now under Glenn. It's going to get to a point where I'm concerned with Michael Carter II. He's gotten off to an abysmal start this season. He left the game with a head injury. I believe that's a concussion in the third quarter. I believe it was. Like, you gave that guy $70 million.
He won't be on the team next year, Connor. That's where this is headed. He'll be a cap casualty, and they already brought in his replacement this past week. They brought in a Brownlee who's, more of a big physical corner who fits what they want. I think that's what's coming there.
Certainly. Just brutal. You can't take anything away from this. You're 0-4. Like, 0-2, 0-3, it's bad. 0-4 is like you're gonna be with the Saints. You're gonna be with the Browns.
Hey, when's your first mock draft coming out on JetX?
I actually was just texting with Robbie. I'm actually gonna start my first scouting report.
Here we go, baby.
Yeah, Dom C already has a scouting report ready for us on Fernando Mendoza. So the draft talk is already underway. The Nick Farrier wrote an article yesterday on 3 quarterbacks the Jets should be eyeing as the college season progresses. So we're like, this team continues to lower the bar. The season was over before Halloween last year, essentially. Now it's over before October. Like, what's going to happen next year? The season's going to be over after week 1 somehow. They're going to be eliminated from playoff contention in week 1. It's awful.
Hey, don't worry, Connor. They had to hire another first-time coach. They had to hire another defensive-minded coach with no previous experience. They had to do it.
Moral victory. Yeah, I mean, I agree. If Harbaugh somehow shakes free from there, I think you gotta go grab him. I really just don't want to have a whole conversation though at the end of the year. Do they really need to fire Aaron Glenn? It's so difficult to evaluate what's Glenn and what's Moochie, because you said it earlier in the show. This is a head coach oriented organization. I'm assuming that Glenn is making the calls on players like Brandon Stevens.
Put it all on Glenn. There's not a move that is made without Aaron Glenn signing off on it. And all I need to know is 2 things on that, right? First, Woody Johnson referred to Darren Muji as Glenn's sidekick at the introductory press conference. All right. You call a GM a sidekick to your coach who's never been a head coach in the league before. That tells me all I need to know. And two, there was a comment that Glenn made during one of his pressers when he was asked about the Breece Hall trade rumors. And he said, Breece, I'm not trading you. I'm not trading you. It means it's his decision. He's the one that makes the final decision on personnel.
Brutal. Well, Jake, this isn't an instant coffee team, as Aaron Glenn would say. So
That's right. You know,
give it some time.
Take a while to turn.
Yeah, give them. Look, do you think I'll wrap with this? Do you think this team's playoff drought is going to extend beyond 20 years?
I mean, it can almost legally drive. We're almost there. We'll be at 15.
If they don't hit on the quarterback this year, I think you're looking at a playoff drought that could go like. I think if you
realistically, right, they're going to have a rookie starting for them at some point next year, if not week 1. Like, how often do rookies make the playoffs, right? I mean, it could happen. The Jets did it with Sanchez, but it's rare. I mean, more often than not, C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels are rare. Usually, rookie quarterbacks don't make the playoffs in their first year. So, there's no end in sight. That's the bottom line. It could have ended if you had legit coaching, but 4 games in, I don't think this team is well coached. So, Aaron Glenn better figure it out. Because if they're picking number 1 in the draft, he should be one and done. He should be Gerard Mayoed, and they should hire someone else. Because that's it is unacceptable if this team is picking in the top 2. Unacceptable. Top 3 even, not good enough. Aaron Glenn should be fired if they are that bad. He is not a good head coach, and he will have proven to be not a good head coach if they are that bad. I'm not saying fire him now. I'm saying if they're picking in the top 3, like the season ended today, the New York Jets are picking second, he should be gone. He does not deserve to get another year if his first year is that bad. He doesn't.
Jake, thank you for having me as always, and I'm sure we'll chat soon, brother.
Connor, in the wise words of Aaron Glenn,
we're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Thank you for calling in, buddy. Hang in there. South End Auto. I already read that one. Jetpack says, Chad, are we loving the AG Make-A-Wish season? I don't know what that means. AG Make-A-Wish season. What, AG only got this job because he's a Make-A-Wish kid? Is that the joke? Aaron Glenn was qualified to be a head coach. That was never the issue. My problem with hiring not Aaron Glenn, but any coach that had never been a head coach before, especially one with a defensive background, was it's doing the same fucking thing every time. Enough. Stop doing the same thing. The one time this franchise tried to hire an offensive coach, they hired Adam Gase. Stop doing what you've been doing. Hire someone with experience. It's too late for that now. Now we got to hope Glenn learns on the job and gets better because he's not getting fired. He's not. He should be fired if they finish with 3 wins or less. I stand by that. That's not going to happen. So let's hope he gets better. Hope they can somehow surprise and win games. I don't see it, but, hope it gets better. Gonzo, channel member now. Thank you, Gonzo. I mentioned Adam Gase. Sorry to disparage Adam Gase because his son is nice enough to actually call in and share his thoughts on the game. Let's say hello to Mad Max Gase.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we hear you, Mad Max.
Oh, man, the Jets sucked today. It was embarrassing. Like, honestly, the amount of penalties we had today was embarrassing. We had 13 penalties in the game, like, honestly. And Aaron Glenn's like, oh, I got to look at the tape. He's making excuses once again. Glenn's making excuses, It was very bad today. 13 penalties, And, Glenn's like, oh, we're going to switch the culture up. We're not going to have penalties. Jake, is it hard enough? Like, honestly, is it acceptable to have so many penalties? It's unacceptable. I'm sorry.
Is it acceptable to have this many penalties?
Yeah, no, it's unacceptable in my opinion. It's unacceptable.
I would agree, Mad Max. I would say it is unacceptable to commit 13 penalties for 101 yards in an NFL game.
Is it hard to lower the penalties? No, if you actually discipline the team like Glenn, and I don't know, the fumbles was horrible. Isaiah Williams should have been off the field after that fumble. Glenn's like, oh, let's just put him back on the field.
Now, Mad Max, have you thought about putting a light on?
Nah, it's 12:30 night.
Yeah, but you called into a show.
Yeah, I know, but I'm in the living room right now, Jake.
You're in the living room right now.
Yeah.
Where's your room?
It's in bed late, Jake. So
I thought you live in a dorm room. You have a living room in this dorm?
I live in an apartment.
Oh, you have an apartment?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to put some lights on, Mad Max.
Okay.
You're scaring us.
Is that better now, Jake?
There you go. Now, are you going to go to sleep in your Jets jersey? You were wearing that earlier, too.
I was wearing that earlier. But the loss was embarrassing. I was embarrassed by it, you know. I mean, the offense played good. Just the miscommunication, the fumbles, it was hard. It was embarrassing, and the penalties. And Glenn's gonna make excuses. Like, and
What did you do for the game, Mad Max? Where did you watch it?
I watched it in my bar. I was watching on my phone, and it was embarrassing, Jake. And I agree with your point. If we have 3 wins or less, we got to fire Glenn. Like, he's not a good coach. Like, I've not been impressed by Glenn. And the comment, it's not the same old Jets. No, it's way worse. Like, I'm sorry, Jake. Like, if we win 3 games or less, I'm done with Glenn. We got to get a new head coach in there if we win less than 3 games.
Why are you saying sorry to me?
I don't know. I'm just saying that I'm just saying, like, I agree with your point. Like, if we have less than 3 wins, fire him, Glenn. Like, he's not good. He's not impressed me. And you could be like, the only good thing about Aaron Glenn is he's 3-1 moral victories. Like, we need to win games.
Yeah, but he could dance pretty good.
Yeah, he could dance pretty good on the sidelines after that punt return touchdown. No discipline. He's probably going to put Isaiah Williams. He's not going to show accountability. He cut Xavier Gibbs after week 1. Should have cut him in the offseason. I mean, he shouldn't even dress the other guy, Michael Clemens. Like, he shouldn't even dress him.
What's your roommate like, Mad Max? Is he ever confused how you always have energy?
He always has energy, you know.
Does he ever think that you're not being honest when you say that you're not on drugs?
I'm honest, you know.
What about 7 Red Bulls? Did you tell him about that?
Jake. And, you know, my prediction, we're gonna lose to the Cowboys. And I think we're gonna lose next week. Jake, we have to have less penalties the next game. Is it a hard thing to ask to have less penalties in the game? Is it a hard thing to ask, Jake?
Mad Max, you can ask for whatever you want. It just doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen.
Like, it has to happen. Like, we need to have less penalties. I've talked about it since summer. Like, the penalties are a big part of the problem. I've said this since in the preseason. You know, Glenn, even since the first preseason game, like, the penalties are a big part of the problem. He's not addressing it. You know, he says it every time in the press conference. I have to clear up the penalties. It's not the brand of football I want to play. Like, bro, it's embarrassing. Sorry.
Mad Max, you keep up the great work. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. The great Mad Max.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Thank you, Mad Max. Omari says, I fear we lose the locker room soon. Yeah. How can you say we're not the same old Jets and you start 0-4? You think Quinn Williams thinks you're not the same old Jets? He's been here for all the bullshit. All of it. What do you think these guys are thinking when they see Aaron Rodgers on 3-1 Pittsburgh right now, by the way? His head coach, his first big move was get the fuck out to Aaron Rodgers. Just saying. He is going to lose the locker room if they don't start winning. I don't think he's lost it yet. They're 0-4, though. Where's the win? Where are their wins coming from? If you couldn't beat Miami tonight, who are you beating? Who? Thank you to Sam, who sent me a Venmo, says funds to start a Yankees channel. I'll tell you what. I will definitely be leaning into some Yankees talk with the playoffs starting. Hopefully the Yankees go on a run here. I'll be stressed out of my mind at 6 o'clock tomorrow. By the way, 6:08 first pitch tomorrow. Brutal start times for these games. Jay writes in, they'd be 0-4 with Rodgers. Jay, your Rodgers derangement syndrome is showing. Enjoy your moral victories, though. Joke. Absolute joke. JJ writes in, I'll be here watching you still, Jake. Thank you, JJ. Thanks to everyone who still watches. I truly appreciate it. The Jets don't deserve their fans. I somehow make my living talking about this team being awful. Yeah, an awful team. Because the fans are special. They support the channel, all the things we do beyond just the Jet talk, Asmaniac madness, all the different storylines. Brutal. JJ says he's officially giving up his season tickets. I'm embarrassed, disgusted, angry. 15 years, a quarter of a lifetime, practically. WTF. You get nothing as a season ticket holder. I respect anyone who is a season ticket holder. How could you not? But you get nothing as a season ticket holder. Nothing. You get nothing out of your tickets. They depreciate in value, usually by late October. This year, not even in October. Unfortunately, around the holiday season, I've been able to do this now the last like 4 or 5 years because the Jets have been out of it. People start emailing me their tickets to give to other listeners who could take, hopefully, their young kids to a game for the first time. They don't care what the Jet record is at that point. They get to go for free, have a good experience. Like, anyone's got tickets they're not using, you want to send them to me, people will still use them because this fan base is special. But I don't blame you. What's the benefit of being a season ticket holder? You're never getting a home playoff game, so you're never going to need to get face value. Probably, like if you're a Yankee fan or you're a Knicks fan, right? Like, because I did an Asmaniac group buy for the Knicks this year, we bought 35 seats for a game. That made me, according to the Knicks, a partial season ticket holder, which means for each round of the NBA playoffs this year, I got to buy face value at the Garden for the Knicks. So I had NBA Finals tickets bought, right? At face value, which was still insane, but you know you're getting playoff games. Yankees, you know you're getting playoff games. You don't get anything with the Jets. They haven't won a division since 02. Not getting a home playoff game. That first home playoff game, whenever it is, that ticket might be one of the most expensive tickets in the history of New York, of New York sports. But when's it coming? LA Jets channel member, welcome. BK, Nothing But Nets podcast. Who gets 3 wins first, the Jets or the Knicks? Let's check the Knicks schedule. It might be the Knicks, as sad as that is, honestly. Even the Giants now have a win, too. They beat the Chargers. Imagine that. You know, you're allowed to actually beat a good team. You don't have to just lose because you're an underdog. Oh, but Jake, they played the Steelers. They played the Bills. They played the Bucks. Look at their records. They'll show you against Miami. No, they won't. No, they won't. They suck. They don't show us anything. Knicks regular season starts October 22nd. Their first 3 games are Cleveland, Boston, Miami on the 22nd, the 24th, the 26th. At Milwaukee's game 4. Chicago. I'll say the Knicks start 3-2 because it's a tough schedule. So the Knicks will have their 3rd win by Halloween. That's the 31st. Now let's do the math on the Jets. Jets are not winning against Dallas. They're not winning against Denver. And because of the Knicks will get 3 wins before the Jets. We just did the math. Say the Knicks don't start 3-2. I'll give them a loss, an extra loss. They'll get their 3rd win, let's say, instead of on Friday, October 31st, let's say November 2nd against the Bulls. They'll win that one. Jets are still on their bye week then. Yeah, the answer is the Knicks, as sad as this is. Just math. More calls here. Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella is on the line. So we stop what we're doing and we play this.
He's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the Jets, SuperChats. Where the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Where there's a big fella.
Hey man, I was excited for this game tonight. I really was, and that was tough. That was really tough. I'm usually positive about the team, and
wow, they've killed the big fella. This is sad.
And well, my son calls me. He's like, "Why do I have to?" He's like, "Why do I like this team?" I said, "Bro, I'm sorry, but yeah."
Like, do you think Woody Johnson's embarrassed? Do you think he sits there and just like scratches his head and goes, "How is this happening?" Like, I really would love to just be a fly on the wall and see what he's like watching these games. Like, does he even care? I really would love to know what he thinks when he's watching his team be embarrassed on national television again. Jets are now 2-11 on Monday Night Football over the last 10 years.
Well, to me, obviously, I don't think he cares because he doesn't take care of his season ticket holders with anything. Like they don't even get like a yearbook, bro.
No, you don't even get like the wine voucher anymore. Apparently,
it's terrible. That being said, Glenn's the coach of my team. I still support him, but he's got to clean shit up. enough is enough.
I think we all still support him. Like, we want him to do well
Yeah.
and win, but like, we got to call a spade a spade. Like,
Right.
has this team been anywhere improved coaching wise in any aspect other than, I guess you could say, special teams? That's about it.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, offense isn't so bad. I mean, what do we expect with Fields, really? I mean, I wanted him, but I didn't think he couldn't throw at all. I mean, he's terrible at throwing, man.
They were so slow to get going, though, man. I know they had the good drive at the start, but then it's just like everything looks so hard. Like, game one was a mirage, man. Like, that was new game, no tape on the Jets. They took advantage. They didn't even win. Now there's film on what the Jets want to do, and while Fields can still make some great plays because he's a freak athlete, as he showed on that run today, where the play broke down, he just made something happen. Like, they don't have enough talent to help them either. There's no one that can win besides Garrett. Mason Taylor's okay. He's getting better. He's a rookie. Like, they have no receivers. It's not good enough.
See, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Now, get into the defense, man. Teams, it's so obvious. They need to take Stevens out of the game. They're targeting Stevens every play. That Waller touchdown in the beginning, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was standing in the middle of the field while Waller's crossing over. He sucks, dude. I mean, you can't play defense 10 on 11, okay? Then you add Michael Carter, who's dog shit, who should remain in the fucking locker room with his head injury. Keep him the hell off the field. And then you have Tony Adams, who's trash, who they brought back, who they shouldn't have brought back, but they did. Right there, you're playing like 9.5 against 11, dude. You can't do that. Or 8.5 against 11. You can't do that. Our secondary is getting destroyed. Sauce is lazy as fuck on the corner, because when you're handsy like that, when you're grabbing all the time and you're not even looking for the ball to try and intercept the ball, you're being lazy. You're not trying for a turnover. You're just grabbing and you're just trying to stay up there and deflect the ball. That's why we're not getting interceptions. These guys are Isaiah Oliver today, same thing. Being grabby. You have to stay with your man or in front of your man, and you go for the ball. It's really frustrating. Now, Isaiah Williams. I know we've been going over this tonight, but
you know if they let him on the plane? Any update on that?
You should put him under the
What
plane.
A performance tonight. Moment of the game tonight. Highlight of all highlights. Yeah. Fair catching at the 2-yard line. Even by Jet standards, this is something.
Yeah, my son and I were FaceTiming during this whole thing. We're like, what the fuck is that? And my point is with Isaiah Williams, why is Pritchett on the practice squad if we're having this bullshit every week? You know, Pritchett can do the same stuff, okay? And he wasn't so bad in the preseason.
Yeah, Pritchett could fumble too. I rather him fumble than Isaiah Williams, who should not be allowed on the plane, but I digress.
Exactly. Now, another thing, we had 0 pass rush tonight. We couldn't pressure Tua. Their offensive line is not good. They're not.
I saw a stat. Not only did they not sack Tua, they didn't have a single quarterback hit registered against Tua tonight.
Yeah, I mean, well, they did, and it was a
penalty. Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way they could get to him tonight. But
I might just leave this up. Hey, Aaron Glenn, or anyone at Jets PR that I know watches my show, please, for the love of God, show some respect for your fan base and do not let Isaiah Williams on the flight back. Enough. All right. Let him fly coach. All right. I will pay for his plane ticket. He does not deserve the right to fly on the team plane. It is enough.
Exactly. He sucks. He sucks. He looks slow. Connor was right. He should have let the ball go out of bounds. We would have been at the 40-yard line and avoided that fumble
on the kickoff. Yep.
It's disgusting. But yeah, like I said, I'm usually Mr. Positive. Anything. Good thing Max was on before me because he makes me happy with his shit, Mr. Adderall. But it's, I mean, he brightened my day. But still, I mean,
he snorted something. I don't know what it is, but we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. The refs were bad. I'm not going to blame the refs. But some of those calls were ridiculous. You're going to call Simpson for a fucking pancake, but you're not going to call Fields getting destroyed out of bounds.
Or Tippmann getting his helmet ripped off right in front of them, and they don't see that.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Now, Connor and Chris, if you want to be a fan of this Jet, if you want to be a fan of this Jet team, you may see a Super Bowl like this, bro. This may be your future because this is how old you're going to be when you see the Jets win a Super Bowl, man. Because, God damn it. Yeah, I'm usually Mr. Positive. I got nothing tonight, man.
Look, it's hard to be, man. It really. This is one of the darkest moments I think this franchise has ever gone through. Seriously, like I think there's always been, even as bad as last year was, there was hope with the new regime. This is the new regime. It's not better. In fact, it's worse in some areas. Some of the decisions they made have immediately been the wrong decisions, and it's. I mean, there really is no hope right now. The hope is that Glenn gets better, that he truly is the right guy for the job. Dan Campbell had a terrible start. People will bring that up. All right, fine. That's an outlier, though. That's not the norm. Hopefully, Glenn is the next Dan Campbell. I mean, that's all I could really tell you right now.
Bro, I've been trying to, tell myself, it's growing pains with Glenn. He had his bravado and shit, but, it wasn't warranted. I'm trying to say it's growing pains, but if you're going to be loyal to Brandon Stevens destroying your secondary every week, bro, he's out of position every week. And you're going to keep Clemens out there, who actually didn't do a bad job tonight. Not compared to past weeks. He actually wasn't that bad tonight. But, yeah, he's got to get this shit figured out, man, because it's a bad feeling tonight in Jetland, man.
It's just, I don't know, man. Like, this is, I usually have something. I have no answers, man. This is as bad as it has ever been. I really believe that because there's been worse seasons or worse moments or worse losses, but there's nothing right now. It's not even October. They're winless. The expectations were low to begin with. There's no young quarterback we're playing to evaluate and at least figure out if we have that. It's just, can they win some games? And do we feel a little better about the coaching staff by the end of the year? I don't right now.
The only positive I have tonight is that Mason Taylor did okay.
He did. And by the way, I saw the Coldplay incident with Jason Taylor. I don't know if that was a Coldplay scenario with that woman that was sitting on his lap, but I did see that video. A bunch of you tagged me in it. So there you go.
All right. Well, anyway, man, I'm gonna be here. I'm not going anywhere.
You better not, big fella. By the way, you won a Rex Ryan helmet today. I already mailed it out to you. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. If people like it or don't like it, I don't give a fuck. But it is what it is. I support this community, support this team. I'm batshit crazy, and go Jets.
See, the fans are great. Like, we'll still have our fun, our laughs. It's just, we just want to watch winning football, man. And yet again, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to be there on Sunday watching us lose to the Cowboys.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy, but, you do a great job, man. And we're better that you're doing your show, man. And we thank you for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. The great big fella.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
I'm only playing that version until we get a win. I can't. They like, it's all talk and no results. Saleh was all gas, no brakes. It became very quickly no gas, all ass. Like, what's Glenn's thing? We're built for this shit. We are shit. You're shit. He's going to lecture the fans that we're not the same old Jets. Yeah, you're worse. And the media is now going to start to really amp it up on Glenn. They're going to be out for venom going forward. Now that the Mets are done, right? The focus is going to start to really come in on the Jets. If the Yankees go on a run, that'd be a good thing for the Jets. All right, that can mask some of the outrage. Connor Hughes, SNY. Let's listen into his report.
identity. That's such a buzzword in the NFL. Teams want to find one, cultivate one, carry one throughout the season. 4 games into 2025, the Jets have theirs. They are ill-prepared. They are undisciplined. And because of those two characteristics, you can say that this team is poorly coached. I had a player talk to me in the locker room after this game against the Dolphins, and he kept shaking his head and repeating over and over and over again, they are not better than us. But the Dolphins beat the Jets on Monday Night Football because the Jets committed 12 penalties, were called for 14, but 2 were declined. They had 3 turnovers, including one when Braylon Allen fumbled going into the end zone, and another one where the Jets fumbled on the opening kickoff of the second half with a chance to drive down the field and tie. Mental errors like fair catching a punt inside the 5-yard line. As Breece Hall said after the game, we watch as teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. This was supposed to be different under Aaron Glenn. He spent so much time, OTAs, minicamp, training camp, about talking about the Jets being a disciplined team, but it's just not happening. So while there is talent on the field, like Hall, like Garrett Wilson, like Justin Fields, Sauce Gardner, and so many other players, Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson when he gets healthy, you're not seeing it materialize into wins because the Jets continually, as Hall said, shoot themselves in the head. So until the Jets turn this around, until the Jets fix these infractions they continue to commit, these losses, 0-4 through the first 4 games of this season, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Anything he said there that's not true, right? I mean, he's right. It's a joke. More calls. Adam is up next. What's up, Adam?
Hey, did the Jets play today? I didn't really see a team compete. Man, I think when you saw the look on Aaron Glenn's face, I think the sober reality that head coaching in the NFL is very difficult to do, especially when also you've been given the rights to be the GM. The team is undisciplined because he's all over the place too with his focus. I don't think he's focusing on one thing. He's a player's coach, which is nice. He exudes positivity, wants to be authentic self. That probably translates to how he manages his coaching staff. And
he gave us that look tonight too. You know that look I'm talking about. That look of, oh shit.
Yeah.
This job is going to eat me alive. The Bulls look, the Salah look. I saw that look tonight from Aaron Glenn. There it is. I saw that look tonight, and I said, oh, boy, here we fucking go again, because it's over. I mean, I hate to say it, but I saw that look, and I'm thinking the worst right now, Adam. I mean, I hope Aaron Glenn can get out of this, but when I saw that look, and I said, here we go. I've seen this.
We've seen it all. We've seen this. And by the way, I'm really surprised. Connor Long was like, "Oh, we've never seen a season end this early." How about when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles? Remember that?
Oh, do I?
That was first week, so this is not the record.
That team showed fight, though. So they won that night. I mean,
moral victories on the season.
You know what? They actually had real victories before it fell apart. That team was 4-3. They beat the Eagles, who were undefeated. I'm not trying to tell you Salah's a good coach. He's not, but
no.
Salah to this point is a better head coach than Aaron Glenn. That's not a hot take. That's just a fact.
I would say, yeah. But you know what? I think with just the way that they're playing, like if they are like 0-8 at the bye, they're gonna have to get rid of Wilkes because they'll make him the scapegoat easily, especially if things continue. And Woody will probably tell Aaron, you got to go coach the defense now on your own. You can't use Wilkes as your scapegoat at this point. And I don't know, if Glenn's trying to focus on everything like he said he did, that's why you're not seeing you're not seeing Sauce stop getting handsy. You're not seeing the improvements and focus on defense that you're expecting. You're not seeing Stevens looking all confused and not knowing his play. That's all reflection of Wilkes. So the question is, at what point is Glenn going to just cut bait with Wilkes and put it on him to save his own job?
I think Wilkes is the fall guy after the year. I don't think they do it in season.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could, because Aaron could coach the defense. He can sub in for that.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to cause that type of attention, though, in year one.
I suppose. But if things are desperate, things are desperate.
I mean, they're 0-4. I mean, like, if you're going to do it, you do it now. I don't think they're going to do it, though.
Probably not this early. But if you wanted to see something that I think was really funny, you should. I know you don't want to rewatch the game, but if you go watch that Fields run, you should take a look at Alan Lazard during that play. If my eyes weren't fooling me, the dude was literally just running around and not blocking where he was supposed to be blocking. And you'd think that, he's the big blocking wide receiver trying to help out. He was like absolutely not getting any blocks going anywhere, even though Fields still got the touchdown. And that was like the Michael Clemens play like last week where he didn't know where he was going. Like Lazard as a blocker didn't know what the heck was going on there. It was pretty wild to watch.
The funniest part of the broadcast was at one point Chris Fowler was like, they really haven't gotten much at all from Alan Lazard. And it's like, yeah, Chris, because he sucks. That's who Muji and Glenn wanted the number 2 receiver to be for next to Garrett Wilson. That's the other thing, right? We know Fields is a limited passer. You got to give him better weapons. You have to. But they haven't. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who was in the building tonight has called in. He promised a win. Instead, a big fat L is all we've received. Ladies and gentlemen, we will introduce him the only way that's appropriate. It's time.
Good evening, my friend.
Nick, how you holding up, man? I'm sorry you had to witness that.
I'm good. I was just about to take a quick 2-hour nap before I got to get up for the airport. How come nobody's screaming about Banjo? His special teams have cost us 2 games. The first game with the fucking fumble from Gibson, and now tonight with the fair catch at the 2, multiple fumbles on kickoffs, because Braylon Allen's return when he got hurt was a fumble. The ball was out. I don't know.
I mean, the kicking's been good, though. The kicker, the punter's been good. They blocked the punt with McDonald. They blocked the kick with McDonald last week. I don't know if Chris Banjo could help Isaiah Williams for being an idiot.
Well, who's scouting them to bring him in, though?
I blame the GM. And Glenn.
Nick Folk is great. Nick Folk missed 1 kick the last 2 years. Banjo don't get credit for that. But special teams have literally cost.
I was trying to find a positive. If you want to criticize Banjo too, that's fine, because the reality is I think this team has been horrendously coached. So you want to lump them in with that?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. That's fine.
Absolutely. Like, if people are going after Wilkes, I'm like, Banjo's been just as bad. Like, you can literally put 2 L's on the special teams.
Ironically, Engstrand's the one coach that I don't think has been horrible. He's had growing pains. There's been moments I didn't like, but I actually think he's gotten more out of some of these players than most of us thought. But he's not working with a whole lot. But it is what it is with him. Yeah, I mean, to me, it all starts with Glenn. It starts with Muji. This team, some of the decisions they made, allowing Isaiah Williams to hurt you the way he did tonight is entirely on them. They had the entire summer to figure out the kickoff return specialist role, and they screwed that up.
And how about we just tell the Jets and Engstrand, you're down 13-0 at the beginning of the game. Why do we have to wait to see a downfield passing attack until we're down by multiple scores? Why can't we throw the ball downfield early in the game and open up the run game? I don't get that. I don't understand why we could throw the ball downfield successfully later in the game, but we don't even look downfield early in the game. It's almost as if they're coaching him like Zach and saying, hey, don't lose it, check it down. It was 3rd and 15. They throw a 5-yard crossing route underneath to Garrett to leave 4th and 10 with 7:02, and then we punt.
They don't trust Fields to throw, Nick. That's what it is. They obviously.
But he does well. Get him out of the pocket. Move him. Let him create. You can't fucking handcuff a guy in the NFL. We saw.
Well, they were running the hell out of the ball early, so they wanted to stick with that. I agree with you. I think they should open it up more. Why have we seen one deep shot to Arian Smith all season?
No, I called for it all day. All day. Then the Dolphins defense did not respect us. They played one safety high, I would say 70% of the time. And we did not take any chances. We did not try to expose that. We didn't send Arian Smith on deep routes. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, it was bad, man. There's no doubt. It's incredibly frustrating. I mean, Fields wasn't terrible. Like the box score doesn't look bad. There were moments where you were like, like I don't know, but like.
Excuse me, real quick, Jake. Rebecca, I'm 2.5 years sober. I lost my voice at the game. Pipe down with that bullshit. Thanks.
Damn, what did Rebecca do to you?
She's saying that I'm drinking and I'm tipsy in the chat multiple times. So pipe down, young lady.
Nick, have you had a few beers?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yep.
Let me tell you.
If anything, Jake, I had too much sun. You want to say I had too much sun? You can say I had too. I was outside for 2 goddamn hours today, and I got fried.
It was not nearly as bad as Tampa, though. Trust me.
Yeah, it was. We got to the stadium and went right underneath up by the stadium, waiting for it to get open.
How was the turnout? What percentage were Jet fans, would you say, in the building?
I would say about 35%, like kind of like what we would get at a Bills game.
Yeah.
You know, when we host the Bills, I would say that was the turnout. But I mean, it was a good crowd. We were in. I sat with Luby. We were in the 116. I was in the family section, basically, where all the Jets families were coming up. I took a picture. I met Sherwood's mom and sister, Tony Adams' mom. It was a pretty good. It was a pretty good section. Even the Dolphins fans who were there with us, there was no bullshit. There was no, there was if anything, Jets fans were giving each other shit more than anything else.
It's hard to be a fan of this team. It really is.
But I mean, you look at this team and Brees Hall said it 100% right, Jake. You shoot yourselves in the foot. You watch the other team shoot themselves in the foot, and then you shoot yourself in the head. We have a Braylon Allen fumble at the 4-yard line. We have a bad call by the referee on the calling back the Garrett Wilson touchdown pass, which was a beautiful throw by Fields. And we're those 2 moments away from putting up 35. Like, there's good things happening, but they just got to fucking stop being suicide bombers.
They won't.
Like, they do a lot of things well, but they don't do it well long enough.
But the same thing last year. They led in the fourth quarter 7 times. They couldn't close. Nothing's changed. They led in the fourth quarter week 1 by 9. They blew it. They led in the fourth quarter last week in Tampa. Got a miracle play by McDonald. Blew it. This is what bad teams do. If the season were to end today, they're one of 3 teams that doesn't have a win yet, and they'd be picking number 2 in the NFL draft. Like, this is what they are until proven otherwise. They suck. They're awful.
Yeah. How about this, though? Is with all the calls against us today and none of the calls on the late hit on Ruckert, 2 late hits on Fields out of bounds. Does the NFL just want us to get Mendoza for quarterback, Jake? Is that the plan? Get us Mendoza in the draft?
Mendoza. Look, I know Met fans want him fired, but he's going to play quarterback now for the Jets.
That's it, man. We're all in on Mendoza from Indiana.
Mendoza. He's going to suck. Whoever they take is going to be fucking terrible. You know it. I know it. We're going to argue. Here's what's going to happen. I can already project our next 3 years. This cycle never ends. Whoever they take, we will argue about it incessantly all offseason. Fan base will be split no matter what. We will then try and rally around that player. He'll have an up and down rookie year. We'll convince ourselves the year 2 leap is coming. That never happens. We will be pursuing a veteran by the 3rd year of this plan and probably on our 2nd head coach since Aaron Glenn by then.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Mendoza. He's the what? He's the Indiana quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Is that who? Yeah. Fernando Mendoza.
He's
wonderful.
tremendous. He's tremendous.
Is he part Mexican like Sanchez? Or that's the last time we had some success. He his nationality?
Maybe we got to go back to the well.
I'm looking at it here. He's from California. No, he's from Miami. Okay.
He played for Cal, and now he's at Indiana, and he put on an absolute clinic running the RPO against Illinois. They blew out number 9 Illinois 2 weeks ago.
God, I'm telling. Adam says I love Mendoza. He's on a hyper disciplined team. Great, Mendoza.
Yeah, so.
If he's good, great. I don't feel like doing mock drafts. I'll tell you what, the one guy they better not take, big fella nailed it. If the Jets draft Drew Aller, I'm done. He's Hackenberg too, bro. He's Hackenberg, bro. He's not good. I don't understand the Drew Aller high. I watched him a little bit last year when there was some talk about him maybe coming out, and he was never impressive. And then I sat there and watched that game Saturday night. He cannot go in the first round. There's no world where that guy is a first round.
I'm not going to put him on this as a prospect. He's a less enticing Josh Allen. Remember, Josh Allen was coming out of Wyoming. He was big. He had the big arm, but Josh Allen got coached really well. Josh Allen was bad year 1, but he got coached up really well and he developed. Aller has similar traits as a college player. That's all I'll say. Like, if the right
those guys are
coaching, the right
outliers,
situation. Though. I mean, there's potential there. But he's got a long way to go. His pocket poise, his delivery, his timing, his ability to read. He's got a lot he's got to work on. But I think the right coaches could get a lot out of him.
I already have my draft take. I will stick with this. I'm not going to make the mistake I made with the Zach Wilson draft. I don't care where they pick in the top 3. I'm trading out and getting picks. I'll take whatever quarterback's left. Let's take the best of what's left. And that guy will end up being the best one. Watch. Asking the Jets to make the pick on who the best quarterback is, let the other teams pick, and we'll take what's left and be better off for it.
Yeah,
that's what happened with the Bills. That's what happened with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The Texans, they wanted Bryce Young. They won a game week 18. It cost them Bryce Young. They lucked into Stroud, who half their organization was split on. Trust me, I was there. So I'll take the guy that's left after we trade back and get more picks.
All right. And
this is the earliest I've ever talked draft strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the New York Jets for the season ending on September 29th.
Now, when you mean the earliest, does that mean 1:17 in the morning?
That also applies too.
I just want to show Rebecca and everyone that the mini bar here is untouched. Nothing got touched. Everything is still there. Caps are on. We're good, baby. We're good.
Amazing. Nick, I'm sorry you had to watch that debacle.
That's all right, man. I enjoyed getting away for 2 days, and I gotta get. Like I said, I gotta get up at 3:00, head to the airport, and I'm back at work at 2:30 in the afternoon. So.
Also, Rebecca loves you. Can you say you love her back?
I love you too, Rebecca. I love you a long time.
Nick, have a safe trip back, and hopefully everything goes smoothly, unlike the New York Football Jets.
Yeah, well, we'll get there, man. Like I said, it's just about getting consistency and making good decisions. Like there's things they do well, they just do enough of it well. And it's 3 times now where we could say we deserve to win the game, we should have won the game, and we didn't win the game. So I don't think it's bad as the record looks, but you are what your record says you are. And right now we're a winless team spiraling and finding ways to lose instead of finding ways to win. And Aaron Glenn's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have fans and media turning on him. But how do you silence that, right? Get a fucking win. Go put up 40 on Dallas like every other goddamn team in the NFL is doing and fucking get a win.
Well said. Until then, we will always have those 2 moral victories. Here's the thing. Tonight does not count as a moral victory. I want to make that clear. We're keeping track of the moral victories. We're 2-2 in the moral victories. All right. Week 1 was a moral victory. Week 3 is a moral victory. Tonight is not a moral victory. Tonight is an embarrassment. Also, the idea of the Jets beating Dallas, Nick Shine, I hope you're right. Come on. Come on. They're not. They can't beat anyone right now. All right. They'd lose to anyone they play with the way they play. They find ways to lose. Right? This happened in an NFL game tonight. Mr. Disciplinarian allowed this to happen. After this scrub cost them on the opening kickoff of the second half, Aaron Glenn sends him back out there to return a punt in the 4th quarter, and he fair catches it at the 2-yard line. Disgraceful. Thank you to everyone who's still watching. I don't know why we care as much as we do, but I appreciate all of you for being locked in. There's still 1,100 live right now, which is nuts. Aaron says, draft talk already. Damn. I know, Aaron. Sorry, dude. Sucks. Ganja says, Jets played themselves into defeat again. Undisciplined, turnover prone, unable to seize the critical moments. They suck. You can just say that. Make it easier for you. Horrible. Nah, I mean. Their defense stinks. Their offense and special teams tonight coughed the ball up 3 times. How many of the penalties they committed, the cardinal sins are the ones that are the pre-snap ones. How many of the I don't want to have to go back and look through it, but I will tomorrow when I get a minute. How many of the penalties tonight of the 13 for 101 yards? How many of them were pre-snap penalties? Completely killed 2 drives in the first half off the top of my head. After they did the same thing last week when I was in Tampa melting. Remember they settled for 2 field goals to start the game? Those could have been touchdowns with Tyrod. But the penalties, one by Taylor, one by Arian Smith, killed each of those drives. It's such a joke, man. The refs suck. We know that. But this is a poorly coached football team. They don't deserve to win. Bill M's a channel member again. Hello, Bill. Abu Dhabi says, just looked it up. Apparently, the instant coffee era was around 1940. That's about where our offensive philosophy has been for the last 2 decades. God. Murdog is up next. Home stretch of the show here. Let's try and get to everyone who's still on hold. Murdog, what's going on?
What's up, Jake?
Good to see you in Tampa, my friend.
You too, brother. It's a pleasure meeting you guys. Finally, you, Gator, the big fella. What a legend. I felt like a hobbit standing next to the big fella.
He's a big dude, man. He really is.
I was going to grab a chair and stand on it just to talk to him so we could be eye to eye. What a savage, but also a great dude. Everybody, man. I met Killebrigger. That was awesome. As far as the game goes, like you guys, a lot of you guys have said what I was thinking about, but I've been a fan for over 4 decades, and like I try not to let the Jets like ruin my day or my evening or carry it with me. But watching tonight, they always find a way. It's like a voodoo doll. They just find a way to get me every time of like disappointment, and you guys mentioned like when you keep bringing up the fair catch at the 2-yard line. I don't know. I was beside myself. I just couldn't believe it. After the guy fumbles the opening kickoff in the second half, and then to call that fair catch, it was absurd. But to not belabor points of what everyone else has mentioned, the tackling. How many years do we have to see these guys that can't tackle? We saw Sauce do it against Josh Allen. He's trying to arm tackle a 6'6", 240-pound quarterback. Misses him. Gets the first down. Tonight, Tony Adams, I can't believe how many tackles did Tony Adams miss. And we're talking about Devin A-Chain, who's not a big guy. And he breaks away and then makes a big play. We're trying to tackle guys up top. You're supposed to learn how to tackle by the time you're in high school. These guys are professional football players. And that for the guys who always sit there and say, well, he's a cornerback, he's not supposed to tackle. You're a football player. Yes, you are. It's part of the game. That's the whole premise of being a football player is make a play, make the tackle. The other thing is the play calling. The Jets are down 2 touchdowns, and you're running 3 times up the middle in the fourth quarter. Like, what do you got to get down the field and put points on the board, get the ball back, stop them, get the ball back, put points on the board again. But you're running with your 3rd-string running back, Isaiah Davis. Not that he did bad tonight, but that's your game plan is you're running up the middle.
Right. You're just killing way too much clock, 100%. Yep.
Yeah. And they're no sense of urgency. And you're 3rd and 15. I think Nick just brought it up. You're 3rd and 15. When you got to get a first down, you got to get the ball to the sticks. You're throwing a 5-yard pass and expecting the guy to get 10 yards of yak to keep the drive alive. You should not be running a play that is short of the first down marker. And they do it week in, week out. Another thing I know is, I've been a fan over 4 decades. I can't remember in my lifetime where we learned how to defend the tight end. No matter what tight end is on the field, they destroy us.
And tonight, Darren Waller is coming out of retirement, and he's scoring 2 touchdowns because, of course. Yeah, it's just...
hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 years. It's absurd. We don't cover. The first touchdown, Sauce was draped on him. I know Waller's a big dude, but the second one, he was wide open. We just don't cover them. I don't know why. There's just so many things that this team fails on, and you could blame the coaching staff. I know they're not well coached, but things like tackling, that's something you got to come into the league knowing how to tackle. That's just fundamentals. But yeah, all around complete shit show, Jake. I don't know how it can get worse.
It's just this is the lowest I think I've ever felt about the franchise, because even though last year was more painful, you knew there was a new regime coming in, which I was big on. Like, let's just get through the year. We're gonna have a new coach, new GM. Like, there's hope with that. And Glenn tried to provide some of that, and people bought in because he's a former Jet and all that. But like, what are we pointing to now that makes you feel good about this team? There really is nothing. I mean, like, you hope Glenn could just get better because he's not going to get fired. But I'll tell you what, I don't know how you feel about this. If this team wins 3 games or less, he should be one and done like Gerard Mayo was. He does not deserve, especially if like Harbaugh gets fired by the Ravens, they move on, or Tomlin or whoever. If like Mike Vrabel was available last year, New England did the right thing. Like, if I'm Woody Johnson, I'm not sitting here and allowing Aaron Glenn to get a year 2 if this team wins 3 games or less. It's unacceptable if they end up being as bad as how they look so far. I don't think it's going to end up being that bad, but it's the fact that we're even talking about this on September 29th is embarrassing.
I know we had so much hope coming into this year. Like, he's a lot of bluster. He likes to talk a lot, but because he was a really good Jet, we kind of like give him some leeway, and you believe in him. And it's always turnover. But someone made actually it was you. You said we got 1,100 people in here. I don't know what we're still doing here. It's misery loves company, and I think 1,100 of us are going to be. It's just more soothing to be miserable together rather than by yourself. Because that's when you try to jump off roofs. But it's just. Looking at today, could you believe we had over 400 yards of offense? We had more first down. We had 4 more first downs than them. When's the last time a team rushed for 197 yards and lost? Like,
it's unreal. I mean, think about it. We gave the stat in week 1, right? That the Jets No team since the Jets in the what was it, the Harrison Hurst game in '98. Yeah, Hayden Hurst, right?
Oh no, he's on the Raven. He was on
whatever
the
the
Ravens.
Hurst guy was, the running back on the Niners in that game. Glenn played in that game when they started.
Oh, Garrison Hurst.
Garrison Hurst. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. Overtime run.
There was that crazy stat, like no team scored that many points and won the time of possession by that margin and still lost since that Jets team. And like tonight, like the Jets once again dominate all these categories, but they still lose. Last week in Tampa, they blocked a field goal. Tampa committed 14 penalties. Tampa last week committed more penalties than the Jets did tonight, and the Jets still couldn't win. And it's just like, this is what we're talking about. This is a bad coach team, and I want to give Glenn a chance. I'm rooting for him like every other Jet fan, but we got to call a spade a spade. 4 games in, he has been all talk. He has the nerve to say they're not the same old Jets last week, and he's right. They're worse. They're actually worse.
Hey, I don't even know what to say about them. Like, we could point fingers at everybody. It's just bad. Like, we have like a black cloud over us at all times, and
it feels that way. It does.
I just don't even know what to say at this point. Like, where do you go from here? I mean, I agree with you guys with Aller, and you said before you brought me on Hackenberg. I would never draft a Penn State quarterback ever. I just stay away from anything Penn State at that spot. Yeah, it's just bad, man. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that we cost fumbles, but we can't fall on one.
It's amazing.
Last week we're all in Tampa watching the game, and we blocked the kick, and then you look to your right at the clock, and it says like 148, and you just knew, like, damn, we're not going to win, because you have no confidence that your defense can keep them out of field goal range. Tonight we get the touchdown, and we're down by 6, and you look and you're like, we have 1 timeout. Well, where's the clock management? We have 1 timeout in the fourth quarter. They just run the clock out. We needed those timeouts to make them punt the ball back to us. And now at least we have a shot to drive down the field. It's a total shit show all around. The play calling, the tackling, and I think you mentioned it before, like bad teams, or maybe it was Nick Shine, bad teams find a way to lose. And we are the best at finding ways to lose. So at least we got that.
That's what I said to Nick, because he's like, hey, we're a play here or there for being 3-1. And I'm like, we could do that for all the bad teams. It's the NFL. Like Brees had the best quote of the entire day. Teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. That is the life of being a Jet fan, as well as just describing what this team has done this year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he perfectly sums it up. Like, even if we're given a gift, we're like, we return it. It's like, no, we don't want it. We don't want to win. No, thank you for the gift, but we're going to give it right back to you. And you know what's the crazy thing, Jake? We have a habit of doing this in national television. Why does this always happen in prime time?
I know so I gave the stat on the pregame show tonight. The Jets specifically on Monday Night Football are 2-10 over the last 10 years, 2-11 now. But one of the wins is Aaron Rodgers' first game. That felt like a loss after 10 minutes. I was there that night. Like it was brutal. Like, that's one of our quote unquote wins on Monday Night Football. I'd trade that. I would have sacrificed losing that night if it meant Rodgers' season didn't end 4 plays, because that team was legitimately good if he was healthy. Right. Like that.
We had a good defense that year,
and they had a kicker. Zerline didn't miss. Yeah. Unreal.
Right. It was that one year we actually had the good defense. The next year he's back, and our defense took a hit when we got rid of JFM.
Yep.
And we can't stop a nosebleed in the run game. We just have so many holes. And you mentioned it before about the draft. Like, when I was doing all my draft stuff this year, I was like, we got to trade back twice. We have too many holes in the boat that there was not one player that was going to categorically transform the franchise into a winner. I would have traded back twice, accumulated second and third rounders this past year and future first. That's the quickest way. There's no Band-Aid that we could put on it. We just have too many deficiencies all across the board.
Well, they traded up for some of these guys too. They traded up for Arians, but they traded up for Tyler Barron, who can't play. Like, I don't know, man. It's so frustrating. You're 100%, Bird Dog. They have a lot of holes. I just hope that they can win some games here, because we're really talking about a team that's picking in the top 3. Like, there's not a single player that's going to change anything if they retain the entire coaching staff if they're that bad.
Your best, like Arian Smith had a 17% drop rate coming into the draft. And I was like, I looked at him, world-class speed. I was like, okay, 7th round pick, UDFA, he's got the speed, take a shot. No, we're going to draft him in the 4th round. We just make some dumb moves. As far as the regime goes, I know everyone was up in arms about Muji. What a weak free agent class. I was actually okay with it, because he didn't mortgage the future for mediocre players at best. I think the biggest contract we gave out was to Brandon Stevens for 3 years, correct?
3 years, $36 million. Yep.
Yeah,
That was their big free agent move. Yep.
That's the longest contract. So I was like, okay, what they're going to do is see if Fields could be the guy moving forward. And if he's not the guy, then we use our first round pick on one of these quarterbacks. Cool. But if he is the guy, they'll make that determination. And then, but if he's not, you draft the quarterback, you let Fields play next year as a starter, let the guy sit. In 2 years, the kid takes over. That was the plan. So I think they just wanted to see what they had it, because you can't win without a quarterback. So let's see if Fields could do it. So they'll make that determination as far as the draft goes. But I mean, we should trade it back, man, because I know Membu. I mean, I'll give you a stat. You know, there's one tackle in the NFL. They had him on PFF at 6'3". So I don't know if it's accurate, but PFF had it at 6'3" for Membu. You know, there's one tackle in the NFL who's 6'4" or shorter that's successful. You know who that is?
Who's that?
Rashawn Slater is the only guy like 6'4" or shorter. I was like, this guy's a guard. You looked at his grade. Not that Membu's been playing bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he wasn't going to transform your franchise. They had him at 6'3". You had guys like Ursery from Minnesota. You had Wyatt Millen from West Virginia. You could have got Ozzie Trapillo, 6'8" from Boston College. All those guys that were pure right tackles, you could have got in the top 3 rounds. So you could still have got the right tackle that we needed, but you didn't have to draft him in the first round where we drafted him. You could have moved back multiple times and then plugged so many holes, took more shots at that, but we didn't. We jetted it up.
Well, the thing is, to be fair, we don't know what trade offers were potentially available.
That's true.
In that spot. And I think Membu's been fine. That to me is not the issue. It's just quarterback obviously is going to be so important, but it just this team, Justin Fields last year was 4-2. Why? Because he had Mike Tomlin coaching him. Like Aaron Glenn was supposed to be a good coach that could take talent, build a game plan, win the 1-score games late in the fourth quarter that this team fell apart in last year, and they've been just as bad. There's been no improvements there. Like the Jets last year didn't have problems being in games. This idea that they got killed every week last year is not true. They were in most of their games. They had their awful Arizona game or the second Bills game where they got blown out, but like last year they were in almost every game. They just couldn't close. That's been the problem this year.
We lost 7 1-score games, I believe, and 4 of them by 3 or less last year.
They're right there.
So, and again, moral victories, right? Like we were right there. Do you put any stock into it? Aaron Glenn being a cornerback, do you put anything extra on him for our secondary being ass cheeks?
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt when it came to paying Stevens because I didn't like the contract, but I said if we can't trust Aaron Glenn on cornerback evaluation, like what can we trust him on?
I felt the same way.
But the reality is I put it definitely on him, right? I mean, also they chose to pay Stevens. You know, they chose to go out there and give Sauce the extension now, which I'm on board with, and I still think that's the right move. But you know, these are moves they made. They got to own that. They and not a corner, but they chose to keep Sherwood and pay him. So if all of a sudden, he's not a good fit for the scheme, well, change your scheme then, or don't give him the extension. Like you guys made these decisions, and these guys have all been regressing or not playing up to their potential on that side of the ball. They chose to go into the year with no edge depth, knowing Jermaine was coming off the injury. They chose to keep Clemens and not sign anyone else. Like they inherited a lot of this team, a lot of their own decisions, like also keeping Xavier Gibson, which cost them a game. Like these are moves they made. Like Aaron Glenn's got to own that. These are his decisions. You can't blame Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh for that.
Right. Yeah, that's on him. Nah, man, it's just
it's tough, dog. It was good to meet you there, bro. I'm glad that
too,
at least we got to have fun at the tailgate before the debacle began.
Yeah, I was waiting outside for Laney for my tickets. I got so much sunburn. I got the Nick Shine tan. Like up here, it's all white. So it's like I had all white around here because I had the sunglasses on. Boy, did I melted out there. But we got the Yankees, Jake. I got the Yankee stream tomorrow. So are you nervous?
You know what? I don't know. I weirdly feel like they're due to be Boston in this spot, but we'll see. I mean, it's just crazy how quickly, you know, like they lose tomorrow. They're facing elimination immediately. Like it's crazy how quick this wild card series goes, you know?
I'm hearing rumors that they're going to bench Jazz and Ben Rice because Crochet's pitching lefty on lefty. Ben Rice has one of the highest barrel rates in baseball. And I know he's actually not bad against lefties, but you're going to put a guy like Austin Slater, the guy that
I don't think they would. I think they start Rosario, maybe. There's no way they play Slater. No way.
But all I know is what I've heard. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but if they have Ben Rice on the bench in game 1, I'm going to lose my shit.
I think he might be off the. I think he might come off the bench because they want Goldschmidt's bat in there against Crochet.
Okay. All right. So defensively, what's the difference between Ben Rice and Austin Wells catching? Nothing.
Cora's
Nothing.
I don't know. It doesn't. Isn't Wells much better at throwing guys out? I don't think Rice has been bad, to be fair. Like if they started Rice, I'd be good with it. He's caught Cole, obviously. His most Cole. He caught Freed in the most recent start.
Catching Freed.
Yeah. I mean, look, I love Ben Rice. I just think they're worried about the Red Sox running the bases aggressively, like we've seen them do against the Yankees in the past. And I think Wells is better at throwing guys out, even though Rice, I think, has been pretty good.
Was it? I don't know if it was Trevino or Wells, but remember on like Sunday Night Baseball, the Red Sox stole like 9 bases on national TV. I don't know if that was Wells or Trevino, but either way, I'm not taking Ben Rice out of the lineup. And even if like you want to switch Goldschmidt out, put Rice at first base, let Wells come in the catch at some point, you can't take that kid's bat out of the lineup. You just can't. It's Wells is like a 216 hitter with a strikeout rate through the roof. That's our biggest problem going into tomorrow. If you ever look at the strikeout rate for the Yankees, everyone falls in love. Oh, look at the runs we score. It's all home run driven. Our batting averages down the lineup with strikeout rate is absurd. And you ain't winning. I did videos in April about this. You're not winning October baseball with that strikeout rate. You can't put the bat on the ball. It's a wrap. So hopefully I see you tomorrow, 6:00 Yankee game. Let's hope for the best, brother.
Murdoch, hang in there. Hopefully the Yanks could get us a win, unlike the Jets. To all the Yankee Jet fans out there. Jack Curry had a projected lineup. He's pretty plugged in. Goldschmidt at first, Judge obviously in right, Bellinger left, Stanton DH. I cannot wait for playoff Stanton, thank God. Rosario playing second. So would they sit Jazz against Crochet? Grisham in center, Volpe at short, Caballero playing third, Wells at catch. That'd be an interesting lineup. I don't know. I don't love it. I would find a spot for Rice. I agree with Murdoch. I'll talk more about the Yankees on the show tomorrow because if I continue to talk about the Jets, I might blow my brains out. Oh my God. Brandon says, I can't wait to hear how great their prep is. I mean, Aaron Glenn also said they had a great week of practice. If you hear a Jet head coach saying they had a great week of practice, bet the opponent the Jets are playing. Rye the General says, I know you're out on the tank and want wins, but at what point is it legitimately a better business move to trade, accumulate draft capital, and give a new regime ammo, move the losing mentality, start fresh? Look, I'll tell you what, Ryan, if they're, the trade deadline is after November 2nd, that week 9 game. If they have one win at the bye, I would trade guys who are going to be free agents. I would trade Quincy. I'd trade Brees. Now Quincy could be tough because of the injury. We don't know how long he'll be out. That's where we're headed. I don't want to do this, but yeah, I'll get picks. I'm not like when I say I'm out on tanking, it means like I don't think we should root for them to lose and then be excited about the offseason if they're going to keep the coaching staff. If this Jets team, folks, is bad enough to be picking in the top 3 in the draft, Aaron Glenn should be one and done. That is not a hot take. Gerard Mayo was one and done too. Steve Wilkes was one and done. Coaches get fired now. I do not trust this regime, if they're that bad in year 1, to now pick a franchise quarterback to develop. I'm good. Emid writes in, who's happier, Allen or Tanky V? I think Allen's happier, to be honest. I think Frankie actually is a real Jet fan. Allen's a fraud. P-Taz says, Jake, I'm a diehard Jet fan. I'm sick and tired of losing, but you definitely need to calm down, my J. You gaslighting some fans for Aaron Glenn hate. I'm not telling anyone to hate Aaron Glenn. I'm rooting for Aaron Glenn. I'm just not going to shill for the Jet organization. We were promised a team that would not beat itself, commit turnovers, be undisciplined, start flat or come out flat, lose division game. We were promised things were going to be different. They have been worse. So you could say I'm gaslighting people. I don't even know what the fuck that means, to be honest, respectfully. All right. And I'm going to curse right now because it's 1:45 in the morning and I'm sick in the head, as are the 900 people still watching this. God bless all of you. All right. I can only give you my opinion. All right. Whether people agree with me or disagree with me, that's fine. But one thing I can tell you is it's my honest opinion. All right. I'm the guy the last 2 years that thought the Jets were going to win 12 games. I'm the guy who thought Zach Wilson was going to be good. I own my takes when they're wrong. I don't see it right now. I can't sit here and tell you Aaron Glenn's going to be a great coach because it's based on what? That he was an awesome Jet? Right now, I see a guy that if he didn't play for the Jets, he's Robert Saleh 2.0 or Todd Bowles or Adam Gase. He's another first-time head coach. Gase wasn't, but never should have been hired. First-time coach with a defensive background that ultimately is learning on the job in the hardest media market and probably the hardest job to learn on in the NFL, the coach of the Jets. Maybe the Cowboys' job is harder because of Jerry. But Jerry gives you a long leash. Omari says, how do we turn this around, man? I don't know if we do. He says, I need that Bart Scott gift. I love Bart. We'll give away his signed jersey tomorrow, Omari. Good luck. I'm not gaslighting anyone, though. I don't even know what that means. I'm just being honest. I'm disgusted with the product, and I think if you're a Jet fan, you should be too. I'm not even saying fire Aaron Glenn. I think it's ridiculous 4 games in. I'm just telling you, if this team wins 3 games, he should not be the head coach next year. It's on him that this is happening in an NFL game. This photo screams incompetence. This is after this same kick returner fumbled the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter, and the Jets still sent them out there. This guy is only in the game because they effed up by keeping Xavier Gibson on the team in the first place. So they had to then scramble after he cost them a game and bring this guy, Isaiah Williams, in, who has now dramatically impacted their chances to win tonight. I won't say he cost them the game, but he certainly contributed to it. All right, home stretch of the show. Sorry I'm so angry, but you guys understand. Couple calls left. We got Jason and then Cheeseman will close us out. Last chance to enter if you want in on the raffle tomorrow. Gift the membership or $10 super chat or higher. We've been going for 3 hours strong. The Jet pain never ends. Jason, what do you got for us?
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Just another night of Jets shit football.
We've had too many of these, man. The prime time it's always brutal too, right? Because the whole country's watching you. At least the other game was going on, so less focus on the Jets.
That's true. Yeah, too many mistakes. How many times are they going to shoot themselves in the foot? It feels like every game dating back to like 2023, they've been shooting themselves in the foot every game, and that's what's been killing them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the story of the Jets, right? It's they tease you and then they beat themselves.
It's all mental errors. It's all just, and nobody's gonna yell at them or do anything unless if, I don't know, something really bad happens. But I don't even know.
Jason, hang in there, all right?
Yep, go Jets.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
That's where we're at. Oregon says, Jake, the guy that said you're gaslighting fans is a jack off. Don't waste your breath. The coaching staff sucks. Like, the people that think I'm too negative, do you think I want to be? You know how much money it cost me for the Jets to be this bad? Every content creator. Check the views. Wow. It sucks, man. It really sucks. I want this team to be good. But we can't. Am I supposed to start the show tonight and be praising Nick Folk and do a post-game show on only the positives? It would be 5 minutes long. If that. I'd really have to stretch. All right, one last call here. Cheeseman, close us out tonight.
Jake, another day of hell.
We never left hell. You just remain in it.
Yeah, it's funny because I usually am kind of nervous to call in, but luckily for Rebecca, I've had a couple of drinks tonight, so I'm feeling a little confident. But I think it's funny that people are trying to say you're gaslighting us on the coaching staff. That's actually the main thing I was going to talk about today. First things first, though, just a couple of quick, slight positives. Garrett Wilson is a saint.
Yep.
I hope he never leaves this team. I really worry that he's going to want to request a trade, but he is just like the perennial pro. He's not a diva. He shows up. He works hard. On any other team, he'd be. I honestly feel like he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's on the Mike Evans path, man. We can only hope that just like Mike Evans stuck it out in Tampa and eventually got to experience winning, that one day Garrett gets that same opportunity here.
And Mason Taylor looked good tonight. That's pretty much all I have to say as far as positives go. But if this loss does anything, the one thing I hope it does is I hope that it stops Aaron Glenn's high school mean girl attitude towards the press and the media. It seems like he's going out of his way to like be snide and snotty to people asking him legitimate questions. And when he first was hired, he had this like confidence and bravado around him that like I really liked. And I was totally on the Aaron Glenn train early on in the season. I think you remember after one of the games, I was kind of giving you a hard time and trolling you a little bit in the comments, but like I was a true believer, but I swear to God, if I have to hear Aaron Glenn make a snide, sarcastic, arrogant comment to a media question again, I hope someone goes up to the podium and slaps the shit out of him because this is just unacceptable. It's as bad as it's ever been. Like you said, I mean, I don't want to beat on a dead horse. It's all been said already, but I was at work tonight for most of the game and I live in Seattle area. So I just had to hear a bunch of Seahawks fans who have been using our sloppy seconds the last 3-4 seasons making comments about how good we're making the Miami Dolphins look. And it's just frustrating, man. It's just like it's nothing that I haven't seen before. As soon as I saw Allen fumble on the goal line, it's like I almost knew exactly what was going to happen next. And lo and behold, it went exactly the way I thought it was going to.
And that's
But
poorly. That's a sign of a poorly coached team, Cheese Man, because the good teams could overcome a mistake, right, and deal with it and not let it derail them. And what do the Jets do? It lets them derail them, and they make other mistakes, more mistakes to compound. Like in a vacuum, one fumble that you lose sucks, shouldn't cost you the game. You compound that with the other fumbles that they had tonight. You have no chance. Plus, you commit 13 penalties on top of it. Like that is the very definition of a poorly coached team.
well, it's like we've seen the same thing year in and year out. Doesn't matter who the coach, the GM is, it's the same thing. And so we've been conditioned like an abused animal to just expect these outcomes. And it's just so sad because I love this community. I love the Jets fans out there. Like you said earlier, we're a rare breed. And I feel like it does take a different kind of DNA to endure the pain that this franchise brings you. But it's just really frustrating, man. It's like, when are things going to change? When are we going to have our time in the sun? It seems like every other team out there can make it happen. And it's just so demoralizing week in, week out, seeing these things happen. And I was somebody who was on like the, hey, let's give them some time train earlier this season after being 0-1, 0-2. But appreciate all the things you do, Jake. Honestly, I've been watching the show since you first started. And if it wasn't for you, I don't know. I don't know if I'd still be watching football because it's freaking brutal out here, man. And just want to say we all appreciate you, and I'm totally on board with Neil. I think we should be sending you all the Venmos to, really support you because honestly, if it wasn't for folks like you, I think we'd all be in a mental ward somewhere. So
I appreciate
with all that,
it, man.
yeah, of course, man. And with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. But love all you guys. Hopefully the sun will shine on us one day, but it seems like today's not that day, unfortunately.
Cheese Man, all the love, man. Great final call. Well said. Appreciate your Venmo too, by the way, man. You didn't have to, but I got you down in the raffle for that tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, look, I can't say this enough. I appreciate this audience so much, man. I mean, we are at 42,400 almost now subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Like, I spent 4 hours a day year round talking about this team. It's just like I wasn't even asking for much this year. I really wasn't. And I know a lot of Jet fans weren't. You thought it'd be better than this, though. There's no way you could have thought it'd be this bad. 0-4. They're one of 3 teams that doesn't have a win yet. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The Saints and the Titans. We knew they were going to be awful. We did not expect the Jets to be this level of bad. Once again, look at the box score tonight. If you didn't see the final score, but I just showed you those stats, you would have thought the Jets would have won. But this team is incapable of winning. And that is the sign of a poorly coached team. They find ways to lose instead of finding ways to win. And until that changes, they are the same old Jets, despite what the head coach wants to say. So we are 0-4. Dallas this upcoming week. Does it get any better? I mean, you got to surprise us. All right? Like, go out there and win a game you're not supposed to. That's it. That's the only way to get people to start to buy back in, go out and find a way to win this week. But hard to think they're going to, even with how bad Dallas's defense is. The Jets defense, they can't stop anybody. I'll be back at 10 a.m. So it's 2 a.m. right now. I'm not good at math, but I believe that is 8 hours from now. Joe Bedingo will be on with us. I'm sure he has lots to say on this stellar, to quote Joe, Jet performance. So we'll get into it then. I want to thank everyone who watched. Thank you to our sponsor, FanDuel. If you guys want to support the show, make sure you're subscribed and like the video. Join my Patreon. Get in that Discord. It's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Our raffles tomorrow morning. So if you join the Patreon for the year, you get 10 raffle tickets as a little bonus. Again, thank you to everyone who called tonight. All the super chats. Everyone who watched live or after the fact, I truly appreciate it. If you're done with the Jets for the year, which the reality is, I know many of you are, please at least subscribe to this channel before you go. I'll be here every day for you. On that note, have a good night, everybody. We are back tomorrow, or AKA later this morning. Our first show will be at 10 a.m. Eastern. Go Jets, everybody.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.